Marty at 10 o'clock. I'm Paul Rasmussen. The Vatican has announced Saturday as the date for Pope Francis's funeral, with public viewing beginning tomorrow at St. Peter's Basilica. CBS's Tina Kraus is in Rome.
In a break with tradition, the Pope will be buried at the Basilica of St. Mary Major in Rome, a church where he often prayed during his papacy, including on his first day as Pope. In his will, the pontiff requested that he be buried in a simple tomb with a one-word inscription that reads, Franciscus.
The first images of Francis's body were released this morning. It shows him in a wooden casket in the chapel of the hotel where he lived and died. New data on anti-Semitic incidents in 2024 is record-breaking, according to the Anti-Defamation League. News Radio KDKA's Tamira Rush has more.
The ADL recorded more than 9,300 anti-Semitic incidents across the country last year. Rachel Sass with the ADL Center on Extremism says, as far as where they're seeing it,
while college campuses used to be relatively marginal in terms of a location of where anti-Semitism occurs, it's now become one of the major epicenters of where we see anti-Semitic activity.
The state with the highest levels of anti-Semitic incidents is New York with over 1,400. Pennsylvania is ranked fourth with over 400. Tamira Rush, News Radio, KDKA.
A bullet grazed the head of a 16-year-old boy in East Liberty overnight. Pittsburgh police got reports of shots fired around 12:45 a.m., and they found the teen at an apartment building in the 5800 block of East Liberty Boulevard. The boy was sent to a hospital in stable condition. Police say he was wounded in the 500 block of Borland Street. That's where shell casings were found, and a home was damaged in the gunfire. Merger talks are underway between two Allegheny County police departments. Aetna and Reserve recently started consideration of combining their police forces to cut costs and improve officer recruitment and retention. The communities have sent a request for assistance to a state agency. If it's approved, a feasibility study would begin. Pittsburgh's Democratic mayoral primary is 2 weeks away, and the deadline to register for voting is getting closer. With details on that, here's News Radio KDKA's David Ballarado.
The deadline to register to vote is May 5th, which can be done online at vote.pa.gov, or would-be voters can also register at various locations, including the county elections office. Those who plan to vote by mail should also know the clock is ticking, with applications for a mail-in ballot due by 5 p.m. on May 15th. The ballot itself must be returned by 8 p.m. on May 20th, the day of the primary. David Ballarado, News Radio, KDKA.
On Wall Street, the Dow is up 584 points at 38,754. The Nasdaq ahead 294 points. The S&P is up 79. KDKA Sports' Bailey Falter is tonight's starter as the Pirates begin a six-game road trip in L.A. First pitch for the Bucks and Angels is 9:38 Eastern. The news is brought to you by P.J. Fitzpatrick. Home improvements with no interest financing if you need it. Trust PJ.com. KDKA Radio News Time, 10:03. Time to find your next Cadillac. Visit C. Harper in Belle Vernon today to discover your next Cadillac at C. Harper. 55 and overcast in Pittsburgh now. AAA traffic and the AccuWeather forecast next.
Hey, folks, it's Marty. All the time I'm talking about auto accidents, big crashes, big wrecks. Call 1-800-GET-PHIL. or 412-281-5005. Look, Phil DeLucente and Associates, they're in Pittsburgh. They give free, that's right, free consultations. Phil and Ken Nolan, his partner, handle auto cases. I've worked with them a lot. So call 1-800-GET-PHIL. Call Ken Nolan and Phil DeLucente now at 1-800-GET-PHIL today. They're the best, folks.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
From the P.J. Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. My friend Ellen, what's up?
All right, Marty, still very busy as far as the inbound toward town delays go. Parkway West inbound stacked at the top of the hill. You'll line up on the Parkway East at Wilkinsburg. And 28 is heavy through the Etna bypass because of an earlier accident. Construction zone lane restrictions set up for you in Freedom Borough, Beaver County today on 65 southbound. That would be townbound, a ways from town, of course. You have a single lane on southbound 65 between the East Rochester, Monaca Bridge, and River Road. That's to allow Norfolk Southern crews to do track maintenance. That lane pinch will be in your way until 5 this evening. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
For the rest of today, intervals of clouds and sun. It'll be breezy at times with a high of 69, partly cloudy tonight though 47. Partly to mostly sunny tomorrow and becoming warmer in the afternoon, high 77. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
With Amazon Business, smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast. Free up your teams and focus on your future. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
My boy is back. Jim Toten, Toten's Diner. Great breakfast, great lunch, big portions, great pricing, great staff. Jim and Joanne are running an amazing joint. Check it out. Toten's Diner, Route 19, Perry Highway.
It's the Big K Big Three.
Brought to you by New Flow Men's Health. The biggest 3 stories of the day on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Trying to think about the race for mayor in Pittsburgh and how significant it is and where Pittsburgh stands in terms of a city and what's relevant in all the rhetoric now about racism and anti-Semitic accusations in the tone and allegations of stealing and allegations of improper campaign finance and all this stuff. And I'm sitting here thinking about real Pittsburghers and their perception of Pittsburgh right now. I'm sitting here looking at pictures that were sent to me by a guy who works for the Public Works Department in the city, and this isn't a reflection on this administration. It's just the truth. All my boys in Public Works drive crap trucks. And I'm sitting here looking at pictures. You wouldn't drive this truck. Rusted, broken down, bent up stuff. They're telling me half their trucks are broken down, the other half are garbage. Okay, that's Public Works. One of the guys was ordered to drive it regardless, and then was sent home and he refused because he said it was unsafe. I'm sitting there trying to think, is that the city you want? I'm thinking of the cops. I know 800 of them. I know a lot of them. They're about 250 short. Now, they can make all the damn money they want. They can make 200 grand, but they got to work 7 days a week, and they got to work all these events. And what happens is they'll have a big plan made, and then they'll be ordered to work a big event, so they'll have to can the big plan, then they hate working for the city, which, by the way, I would too. You get annoyed. The check is cool, but the rash you get from being ordered to work is a lot worse. And when you're 250 cops short, you can't make up the difference. It can't happen. It'll never happen. And if you're a cop, you also know that you'll never get paid what they're getting paid in Lebo. Ever. Ever what the sheriff's making. Ever what the county's making. So you got attitude. You're like, screw this. So there you have Public Works. You have the police department. Right? Then you go downtown. It's grimy, man. I don't know which downtown Gainey's cruising through, but it's grimy. It just is. I was with my nieces on Sunday at my sister's house, my sister Barb. And my nieces are in college and a little bit older, and they won't go downtown to restaurants at night. They're afraid. I wouldn't recommend that. I just wouldn't. And then there's my boys that are really rich, big-time developers. They're not spending money in the city. They don't see any hope right now for Pittsburgh. And then there's the economic indicators that show we're losing population. Huh? There's a sense of, there's no feeling of greatness in this town. I saw Pony. You love Pony. Sports guy in the fan. Love him. Pirates suck. Penguins suck. Steelers suck. So all the sports teams suck. So that adds to the doom and gloom that Pittsburgh hangs over Pittsburgh right now. And then you look at the economic indicators. Right now, Cleveland kicks our ass. They just do. Cleveland, of all places. Columbus kicks our ass. Friggin' Harrisburg had more new houses than we have. Harrisburg. These are all facts. Why am I bringing you down like this morning? Because whoever the hell the mayor is, man, because Gainey says everything's wonderful. So if that's his version of wonderful, man, that ain't the guy I want in office. I'm not campaigning for Corey. I'm just saying it ain't wonderful. It is not wonderful. And if I shuffle out to the county, you got Sarah Namarato, who got a 50% tax increase passed. Where the hell's she? Huh? She has, how long's it been since she's been on this radio station? Forget my little show. How long? A year? Huh? She has no voice in this town. None. What the hell are they doing? What big corporations are they bringing here? I don't know. There's this bad vibe, man. There's no sense of greatness here. There's no Renaissance mood. There are pockets of greatness. I love this town. I love the Strip. I love some of the restaurants in Lawrenceville. I like some of the housing. But there ain't no way that a middle-class family can buy a nice house in Pittsburgh. There's no way. And I don't know where the hell Ed Gainey's homes that he says he built are. I haven't seen one of them, and they won't lead me to one neighborhood that's all new homes that Ed built. The homes that Ed built. Where the hell are they? And if you're a black man in a black family in Pittsburgh, where the hell do you find a house? Where do you live? Where's the middle class that's black in this town that's thriving? What opportunity do you have in this town if you're African American? I don't see it. So if this black mayor was going to do that, when's he doing that? Why am I saying all this? Because this is where we're at, man. It just is. I mean, I love this town, man. This is my town. My kids are here. My life is here. But right now, if I'm giving Pittsburgh a grade, it's D+. And we feel like we've settled, man. Huh? And it starts out with these pictures that I'm looking at right now from one of my boys in Public Works, who's driving an unsafe, rusted up, old, beat up crap truck. There is no greatness right now in Pittsburgh. None. Prove me wrong. So as we head into this political season, lobbing softballs at each other, he's a racist, he's anti-Semitic, he's a liar, he's a cheater. To imagine that Corey O'Connor had to prove that he has black members in his family this morning, this is as good as it gets. Huh, okay. Hey, Larry, you know this. Okay. So here's where we're at in America. I got to go on the radio this morning and prove I have black family members. Okay. And Jewish developers, and I love them both, Todd and Greg, have to prove that they're not greedy, rich Jews. Seriously, that's where we're at. Find me the greatness. Tell me where the hope is? Where is that horizon with the sun coming up? Where's the magnificence of this town? I don't know. Am I wrong? Am I just a cranky old cynic? I don't think so. This is my town, man. I know this town. So do you. The players won't speak up because they're afraid. The players hide behind their desks and write big checks hoping that they'll make a difference with their money. But where's the greatness? In a beat-up, old, rusted-up public works truck. In a severely depleted police department. Folks, we got no money to pay streets for 2 years. How about that? Huh? Where do I buy a nice house in Pittsburgh if I make $200,000 a year? I'm not talking about someone making $60,000, which is the median income for a family of four here. Where the hell are you living, brothers and sisters? Enlighten me on that one. Huh? The median income in the area, in the county, is about $64,000. Where the hell they living? That's for a family of four, bro. Huh. What house they buying? Can't afford a tent along the river for that. Just saying. What the hell do we do next, and how do we do it? Let's get into it. From the P.J. Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. Ellen Gamble, what's up?
All right, Marty, we have the earlier accident that has been cleared from 28 southbound approaching Millvale. Well, now all of the backlog that was behind that accident scene is now down closer to the 31st Street Bridge and the ramps to the north side. So you're in slow traffic before the Millvale interchange all the way down past the 40th and 31st. Parkway West inbound is sluggish right around the Parkway Center Mall overpass. You'll line up on the Parkway East between Wilkinsburg and Edgewood Swissvale. And Old William Penn Highway in Monroeville closed this morning at 7 a.m., closed round the clock through this Friday, the 25th, at 6 p.m. And there is a detour for you. The closure's actually between Evergreen Drive and Duff Road. The posted detour around that. Crews are continuing their reconstruction of the Parkway East Bridge over the road in that area. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All the news you need for your day and the sports, music, and podcasts you love are all on the free Odyssey app. Download now.
John Perry is a great attorney. Now he has a great partner. Perry Calder is the name of the firm. And the truth of the matter is, he also has his sons there, Alex and Trevor. Folks, one of the best law firms in America. Doctors on staff. The big insurance companies, the big ones, are afraid of them. They're that good. They're feared by doctors who make mistakes. Perry Calder Law, 412-281-4200. 412-281-4200.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
They say all good things come to those who wait, but not for those who wait for that next auto breakdown that could cost you thousands of dollars. I'm Danica Patrick. In the past 5 years, auto repair costs have gone up over 36%. And if your manufacturer's warranty is expired, you'll have to cover it all. With an Endurance Auto Protection Plan, no matter what the mileage, if your car is under 20 years old, Endurance can get you covered on the engine, electrical system, transmission, drivetrain, and more. Endurance has plans for any budget. Repairs can be done by the certified mechanic of your choice. Plans cover 24/7 roadside assistance, towing, battery jumps, fuel deliveries, tire changes, and lockout services. Act now and get the benefits of our Elite Plan, a $2,000 value at no extra cost. With Endurance, you could never pay for covered auto repairs again. So call now for your free quote.
Call 800-386-6029. That's 800-386-6029. 800-386-6029.
I have known Bob Tootie, who started Tootie Mechanical since I was in high school. We've been friends for 45 years. Tootie Mechanical is the best HVAC company in America. No exaggeration. The best service, the best experts, the best equipment, and the best pricing. And they treat you like they would treat their own family. Tootie Mechanical, 412-771-4100.
Loyalty has its rewards at your neighborhood Par-Mar store. See for yourself. Download the Par-Mar stores app today and find deals, coupons, and earn points to get free groceries. Dan Zangrilli reminding you that if there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
UPMC, life-changing, life-saving medicine. I live it.
Everything you need, every time you listen. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
As fate would have it, I have a player on the phone on our VMix right now, Todd Reedboard with Walnut Capital. Todd, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Marty. How are you?
Before I get into some of the slurs being lobbed at you and your partner, I'm guessing you heard my rhetoric. And you're a Pittsburgher. You love this town. It's in your DNA like it's in mine. Do you feel this deflated attitude in town? Do you feel this kind of sense of hopelessness and a lack of greatness in Pittsburgh right now that I feel? My words, not yours, Todd.
Actually, I don't. I mean, I actually think that the people that I've been working with and are involved in trying to get this city, make a change and get this city back on track, just the opposite. They have optimism. These are people that love Pittsburgh, that want things to change. The city's not on fire. You know, we have the ability to make some changes here, but we're growing, we're prospering. We have the ability to grow and prosper, but we just need some policies and some leadership in place that'll help us get there. We have great leadership at the state level. You know, Governor Shapiro was here yesterday promoting good things that are going on around here, and I think we have all the tools in place, but we just need direction and leadership. That's the biggest frustration for me.
So you don't hear me talking about police and public safety. You don't hear me talking about public works and downtown being grimy. You don't hear me talking about no middle-class housing. You think all that's peachy and Pittsburgh's great. You think that, sir.
That's not what I said. I said that we have all those issues, but they could be addressed and changed immediately.
I see.
We have the people and the resources and the leadership out there that wants to get involved that can make those changes. We're not hopeless. We don't have to compare ourselves to cities that are going down the toilet. That's not Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is a great place. We need direction and we need vision. That's what we don't have now.
So Rachel Heisler posted a rather inflammatory X post yesterday, kind of outraged by some of the implications and accusations in this campaign. And in her words, not mine, suggesting that they're anti-Semitic, coming after guys like you, Jews, that you're trying to benefit from your wealth to make yourself richer and the poor in Pittsburgh. How do you respond to these accusations?
Well, let me just say one thing first before we start on that. Look, this whole issue of trying to divide the Democratic Party, whether it's by racism or by going after developers or going after UPMC, this is all something that's drummed up by these consultants in Washington, D.C. This is not by Pittsburgh Democrats. Pittsburgh Democrats are not divided about the way they see their city. These are people that are desperate. They see their candidate behind in the polls. They're looking for a way to burn the house down. And the only way they knew it is the playbook they've done in other cities that has generally not been successful. They are trying to create division among people who are not divided. And I really, I fault the consultants. And unfortunately, in the current mayor's race, the Mayor's Gainey's people are falling for this. They're not being, the Mayor Gainey's campaign is not run by Pittsburgh people. They're run by people from Philadelphia, from Washington, D.C. All the money's coming in from working family parties, from SIU nationally. The people in Pittsburgh don't support this. They're just trying to drum up this division because that's the only thing they have left.
They would argue this, because I got a statement from them this morning. If you're so apoplectic about gaining the people running his campaign, then why did Corey's own PAC return your donation? That's their response, sir.
Good. Look, I have nothing to do with the PAC in terms of what their decisions are. They made decisions that is their decision. We contributed to the PAC because we believe in good government for Pittsburgh. We believe that Pittsburgh needs a change in direction, and we believe Corey O'Connor is the guy that can do that. So we're willing to contribute our time, our hard work money, our resources to make that happen.
Rachel Heisler, honestly, on X went off yesterday, referring to a flyer sent out by folks related to the Gainey campaign, in essence saying, for what it's worth, this post applies to the racism, anti-Semitism, and ageism permeating this campaign. The greedy developers, that only applies to Jews. That hurts you, doesn't it? That notion that you're a greedy Jewish developer.
It does hurt, and I've made that publicly known in a forum that the mayor Gainey attended that was held at the Jewish Federation. So this is not a surprise to anybody. I do not appreciate those type of words, and I asked them to not to do it anymore. And their response was, "We don't care. We don't care what you think. We're just going to continue to say it." So for some reason, we can't define what anti-Semitism is, but that's the way I feel. I don't know that everybody agrees with me, but that's the way I feel.
At the end of the day, though, doesn't it become what I discussed? We need better policing. We need money to pave the streets. We got to clean up downtown. We have to provide middle-class housing. We have to improve the schools. We have to make Pittsburgh a greater place. And when I compare Pittsburgh to Cincinnati and Cleveland, and they're kicking our ass, that does reflect poorly on us, sir. And we need to do better. Isn't that what has value in this campaign, rather than calling you some greedy developer?
Exactly. This is what this is this stuff that's dreamed up by these Washington consultants in order to try to get this race back on track from their perspective. That's why Corey's winning by 14 points, whatever the latest polls have saying that was published by Chris Potter.
Right.
Look, here's the problem with the mayor. We need to fire the mayor. The mayor has not been truthful to us about what he has accomplished in affordable housing. He throws numbers out. One day he throws out 2,000 units. The next day 1,000. Now it's 1,600. By a count that you're going to see that there's no more than 200 units that have actually been delivered. That's not the issue. The issue is that he doesn't tell the truth. When we ask him about where the $6 million is going for the Planning Commission study, we don't get any response to that. There's no truth. When we ask, what happened about all the overtime, their response is, "Oh, we have it under control. They have no data. There's nothing they can say about that." These continually lies and lies and lies and lies. Is we just can't trust the administration.
Do the anti-Semitic attacks in America not just?
It's just we can't trust these guys.
There was an all-time record high number of attacks on Jews in America, and now it's come to roost here in Pittsburgh. Do you feel that fear, Todd?
Look, I do not personally feel that fear every day. I think Pittsburgh's a great place to live. I love living in Pittsburgh. I've lived here all my life. But it's out there. It's for real.
It is.
And you have to address it. You can't normalize it. You can't associate with people that normalize it. The problem that we criticize the MAGA Republicans for is unleashing people that have views that are, way to the right and way different from us, and that the folks on the Trump side seem to support that. It seems like on our side, we're doing the same thing sometimes. We're letting people who have, anti-Semitic and racist views and spew hate and support terrorists, we give them a voice. And that's not appropriate.
Todd Rebord, I appreciate it, man. You always step up, and most people don't. Thanks, Todd. Appreciate you, man.
All right, Marty. Good talking to you as always.
We'll be right back. Hey, folks, it's Marty. Springtime, time to upgrade your windows, and I've got the plan for you. The best window company going, Universal Windows Direct. Right now, no interest until 2030, and a $500 bonus off your entire home improvement project. There's never been a better time. Check this out. Universal Windows Direct, 412-545-6003. 412-545-6003. Universal Windows Direct.
Shenyun is coming to the Benedum Center, April 26th and 27th. Shenyun revives China's divinely inspired traditional culture, lost in communist China today. Discover what China's 1.4 billion people can't see and why Shenyun can't perform there. See Shenyun at least once in your lifetime. The Benedum Center, April 26th and 27th. Tickets at shenyun.com. That's SHENYUN.com.
My boy is back. Jim Toten, Toten's Diner. Great breakfast, great lunch, big portions, great pricing, great staff. Jim and Joanne are running an amazing joint. Check it out. Toten's Diner, Route 19, Perry Highway.
From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studio.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
55 and mostly cloudy at 10:30. I'm Paul Rasmussen. The Vatican has announced Pope Francis will lie in state at St. Peter's Basilica starting tomorrow until his funeral on Saturday, as the Catholic Church remembers and honors the first Latin American pope. CBS's Tina Kraus is in Rome.
World landmarks paid tribute overnight. The Eiffel Tower went dark. New York's Empire State Building lit up gold and white.
The conclave to choose a new pontiff is expected to begin in 2 to 3 weeks. Governor Josh Shapiro says he spoke with President Donald Trump over the weekend about the future of U.S. Steel. At a news conference in Mount Lebanon, Mr. Shapiro said the president called Saturday and they spoke at length about the future of U.S. Steel, with the governor expressing concerns about saving jobs in the Pittsburgh area.
A goal that he shares as well. We agreed to stay in touch and continue to work on that. And I'm going to continue to speak to all of the different individuals involved at all the different companies and all of those who are interested in making investments in Western Pennsylvania.
Mr. Shapiro also told reporters he's returning to the governor's mansion this week and will host today's Easter egg hunt. Just in time for Earth Day, Allegheny Valley Hospital is introducing sustainable pill bottles to replace plastic containers. News Radio KDKA's Tamira Rush has that.
The pilot program is part of a partnership with local startup Partial Health. CEO and co-founder Melinda Suen Lee says part of their goal is to reduce the plastic pollution that is generated in healthcare, but also to prepare pharmacies for the next phase of pharmacy care.
Our pill bottles are not only more sustainable, but they're also much more stronger than plastic pill bottles, and they also are a little bit more cooling than plastic pill bottles, which makes it a wonderful fit for modern pharmacies.
AHN plans a wider rollout to other hospitals through the pilot program. Tamira Rush, News Radio KDKA.
On Wall Street, the Dow is now up 671 points at 38,841. The NASDAQ up 282 points, and the S&P is up 82. KDKA Radio News Time, 10:31. Our next update at 11. I'm Paul Rasmussen on the Voice of Pittsburgh. News Radio KDKA.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store. I've got my freedom and I'm standing tall. Nothing's gonna stop me, nothing at all. I feel relief standing on my own 2 feet. Nothing's gonna stop me, nothing at all.
Hey folks, Marty here. My man Carlos from Greater Pitt Tree Service. Unbelievable, 32 years experience. A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Senior discounts, military discounts. Specializing in large and confined area removals. Training to work near power lines. Amazing. 412-884-TREE. 412-884-TREE. It's the absolute best tree service ever. Greater Pitt Tree Service.
People often ask us, what's the most important part of running a successful business? And our answer is family.
Hi, John, Maggie, and Justin Schmutzer here from Metropolitan Window Company, Pittsburgh's locally owned and family-operated window company for over 45 years.
When you choose Metropolitan Window Company, you're not just a customer. We treat you like family. We take the time to understand your needs and help you find the perfect windows for you and your home, like our exclusive Infinity from Marvin 100% fiberglass windows.
They're the strongest, longest-lasting, best insulating windows you can buy. They're way better than vinyl.
We're passionate about enhancing the beauty and efficiency of Pittsburgh homes using the top-of-the-line replacement windows. And right now, you can save 30% plus get no-interest financing on every window and door product we offer.
Join our family of satisfied customers.
Visit us on the web at metropolitanwindows.com.
Or give us a call at 412-655-8411. PA 1565.
Hey folks, it's Marty. This is something very special to me. I've been talking about Gunny's Ridge, a special place for veterans and first responders. You can honor a loved veteran or first responder with a fruit tree in the Honor Orchard of Gunny's Ridge. It's $122. The number 22 represents the number of veterans who take their lives each day. Gunny's Ridge is a special place. You must check it out at gunnysridge.org. This Honor Orchard is a beautiful thing. gunnysridge.org.
Shenyun is coming to the Benedum Center, April 26th and 27th. How many times have you thought about attending but missed out? Be sure to catch it this time. Embark on a journey through 5,000 years of beauty, wisdom, and drama in this powerful production. Find out why audiences worldwide call it a touch of heaven and applaud its incredible hope and spirit. The Benedum Center, April 26th and 27th. Tickets at SHENYUN.com.
From the P.J. Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. My friend Ellen, what's up?
All right, thanks, Marty. We still have some holdovers from the rush hour in terms of big stacks of delays on parkways. Parkway East inbound, it is easing off, but slowly. And you just have delays between Edgewood, Swissvale, and the Squirrel Hill tunnels. Getting reports just in now of an accident at Bigelow Square and Ross Street, so do watch out for that in the downtown section of the city. Parkway West inbound is heavy right around the Parkway Center Mall on-ramp before the Fort Pitt tunnels. You want to look out for a single lane in each direction around rampers inspection that are going on Route 366 on the Tarentum Bridge this week. Crews are working from 8 a.m. until 3 p.m. through Saturday. You'll find them on the eastbound side of 366 from Ross Street at Freeport Road to the bridge, and then westbound from the bridge to East 6th Avenue. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Intervals of clouds and sunshine for the rest of today. A bit breezy at times. High 69. Partly cloudy tonight, though, 47. More sun than clouds tomorrow and becoming warmer in the afternoon. High 77. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Beds are us when dreams sunk in. Beds are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 412-556-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 412-556-BATH.
Beds are us when dreams sunk in. Beds are us.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
All right, back again today. It's a Tuesday. So much to get into. A little more talk about the Pope, but there's so many other things, too, and we will hit it all. Colin Dunlap with you at 2 to 6 today, as always, right here, KDK.
Game on. I grew up here. This is my town, man. I've seen dramatic change, and I don't see an intense amount of hope. A lot of this real stuff that I start out the show with, banged up pictures of a beat-up public works truck that can't be drivable. They have so much nasty equipment in public works that they don't have enough drivers, cars for drivers to drive. So they're putting them on different shifts now. It's that bad. They don't have money to pave the streets. It's that bad. The schools suck. So I get that Todd Reedboard sees Pittsburgh as Oz. Okay. But I see it as a place where people are struggling. And I don't see an insane amount of hope. I have two of my favorite people on the phone, to be quite frank with you. Randall Taylor, old friend. What's up, man?
Well, am I still an old friend, Marty? I haven't heard from you in a while. Did I get dropped off the A-list?
No, man. It's just, I never blow you off. Whenever you ask, I'm here, man. What's up? Jump in here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm a supporter of Ed Gainey. I see no reason he should be fired. Oh, yeah. Corey's a great guy. I was real close with his dad, loved his dad.
I knew that.
And, yeah. And so, I mean,
let me give folks a little background. Randall Taylor, one of my favorite people in this town, one of my favorite all-time school board members, Urban League community leader, total activist. Continue. Sorry for the interruption.
Oh, no, Mark, but like I said, one of the main reasons that I support Ed, and he said this to me, he said, Randall, I'm one of the first mayors who didn't jump in the pockets of these powers that be. And, Marty, that's true because these powers that be are going after him. And Todd, me and Todd are okay and stuff. We have no problems, but I simply don't agree with his vision of the city. And I don't think Todd Reedboard is on the side these families that you were talking about who are in desperate need of purchasing a home. So I really do think that Ed offers us the opportunity to address some of these serious issues that you talked about. But no, I think I'm with Todd. We agree 100%. I think Pittsburgh still is someplace special, but it can be a whole lot more. And Marty, I work in Homewood.
I know you do.
So I'm standing in the middle of where some serious change needs to be made.
Right on.
And I conveyed that to Ed.
Hold on, and Ed's had his chance to run with that ball, brother, and he ain't done it.
Oh, he's working towards it, believe me. And there's things that
Randall, hold on, my man. Take me to a home that a middle class family in Pittsburgh can afford that makes less than $200,000. Where the hell is that home?
Oh, I can take you to that home, but it's just been purchased by this big out-of-town international conglomerate that purchases single-family homes to make everybody a renter in this town.
That's
so I can take you to a
America.
home.
There is no
happening all over the world.
Affordable housing in Pittsburgh for middle-class families. There just isn't.
Yes, but Ed and others like Councilwoman Deb Gross, they've talked about that issue. Andy Sheehan reported on that issue of these big companies buying up these homes. So those are the kind of things that I think Ed is serious about. And one thing you have to admit, he's just like Bob O'Connor. You know he cares about this city.
Hold on a second. I want to grab another friend of mine who I know you know. Anthony, jump in here. Go, Anthony.
Look, folks like myself, who's a centrist Democrat, we get criticized by the Randall Taylors and the Chris Moores for not jumping and supporting Ed Gainey because he's black, like me.
Right.
Well, but if he's incompetent, I don't support that. And he was a state legislator. Remember, listen, let's quit talking about Gainey as he's some flower that just bloomed. He was manipulative enough to backstab his mentor, Joe Preston, and knocked him out of the state legislative seat that he took over, and nothing changed when he took over. So he has a track record. And it's been of inferiority.
But Anthony, you heard me talk about Pittsburgh, the streets, the schools, the cops, the housing. All of that stuff is real, is it not, sir?
Of course it's real. Listen, Ed Gainey is so horrible. He makes Ravenstall look like David L. Lawrence. So, I mean, this is just ridiculous. How you try to prop up somebody who's a failure. He keeps talking about this housing that he's created. He doesn't tell you that most of it was created by the nonprofits. I work for a nonprofit here in Garfield. He tries to get development done, but with so much piles of regulation in this city, nothing can get done for 2 or 3 years.
Hold on, Randall, jump in here, please. Go ahead, Randall. I appreciate both of you being here. You know that. Go.
Okay, let me say, Mark, let me go say, me and Anthony are friends. We go back a long way.
I know you do.
Just say I accept everything he said. And he's the worst, and everything is the worst. When have we fired a mayor? And Marty, the one example I always use is Tom Murphy. Remember when they put it on the ballot about paying for the stadium, $1 billion for the stadium, and the taxpayers said no?
I do, sir.
What did Mr. Murphy do? He put the middle finger up to the taxpayers and was reelected. Now, what could be worse than that? So even if I accepted Anthony and all the horrible things, we never fired a mayor.
So what you're saying is Ed failed, but so what? Let's reelect a failure. That's what you're saying?
Oh, no, absolutely. I don't think he's a failure. I was just saying there's been worse characters that have sat in that mayor's office, and we haven't made a move against them.
So, Anthony, the narrative is because he's not the worst mayor, let's reelect him. That's the narrative, Anthony.
It's nonsense.
No, that's definitely not what I'm saying.
I tell you how incompetent he is, okay? He goes after the largest private employer in Pittsburgh, which is UPMC.
Hates them.
And tries to come some facade.
Hates them.
Pardon me?
He hates them.
But he hates them because SEIU tells him to hate them. But here's the point. He was a state legislator. He knows that nonprofits there's nothing that the city could do to force them to do anything. If they do it, it's out of the goodness of their heart. So instead of negotiating with all of them, he wants to make an enemy out of them. But he knows that. He was a state legislator. So
that is not true, Anthony. That's not true.
What is not true?
Any taxing body is allowed to challenge the nonprofit status of any nonprofit that's not paying taxes. Mayor Luke Ravenstall, who I think was a good mayor, just had some issues. He filed a lawsuit against UPMC to challenge their tax-exempt status.
And it didn't
so you absolutely can. And the only reason why they're able to come and say, oh, we only just pay whatever we want to pay, which we don't get that luxury to decide what amount of taxes we want to pay.
All right, Randall, what about the rhetoric in Pittsburgh that Pittsburghers want change, Randall, and it's time for a change? What about that? And I'm going to give you that.
Oh, no. I think the change that Todd Reborn and UPMC going back to where the developers and UPMC were in charge of this town, where developers can run around this town like Todd Reborn and do whatever they want to do, price us out our neighborhoods, gentrify our neighborhoods, take schools like Reisenstein off our children. That's the kind of world that they want to change. They want to change back. Ed Gainey says it should be the people, the neighborhoods, family should be the priority in this
Anthony,
city. And I believe that's what
I'll give you the last word, Anthony.
Look, Gainey wants all this Section 8 housing that are not taxpayers. Listen, the reason why I love living here in East Liberty Garfield now is because of the development, which puts it on the tax rolls. That's what's important. We can't, all we've become in certain enclaves in Allegheny County are Section 8. We have to have more development. Listen, Cleveland has land banks. They're not talking about 1,500. They got 30,000 that they turned over. Cleveland, Cincinnati. Why? Because Ohio has less regulations than we do.
Harrisburg had more new houses than Pittsburgh.
Right. So this is just nonsense, more gibberish coming from Randall. And I understand Randall. Randall's a universal activist, and that's what Gainey wants to be. So he can. Now Randall and Gainey can go march arm in arm and protest Amazon.
Randall, you always have access to me, my brother. You know that. Just text me what you need.
Hey, Marty, thanks a lot.
Thanks to both
Talk
of
to
you.
you later.
Anthony, thanks, man.
All right.
That was good stuff. From two really good men. Seriously, I've known them both for at least 20 years. From the P.J. Fitzpatrick, nice Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser, Ellen Gamble. What's up?
All right, some construction zones in the way, and then just the regular delays left over from the rush hour, Marty. Parkway West inbound, as we're looking at it, is slow at times on the front side of Green Tree Hill as you crest the top of the hill, and then really bunched up for you right around where the Banksville on-ramp heads into the Fort Pitt tunnels. At times, the slowdowns stretch back as far as the Parkway Center Mall on-ramp. There, outbound toward the airport, a good ride. Parkway East inbound is still slow for you right around Edgewood, Swissvale. Big heads up about slow traffic. This around lane restrictions on Route 30, Ardmore Boulevard in Wilkinsburg today and tomorrow. Drilling operations are happening 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily on Ardmore, again, Route 30, between Morrow Road and the Parkway East. Watch for the crews and take your time through that work zone. With AAA traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Did you know that now you can listen to all your favorite stations, including this one, shows and even podcasts, all on the Odyssey app? Download it now.
UPMC saved my life. No, they did. They really did. And right now, they're fighting to save my sister's life. Cancer, too. Right now. The doctors, the nurses, they will do anything at any time to help you to live and to thrive. It's a magnificent, magnificent philosophy. UPMC, life-changing, life-saving medicine.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED, because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, HIMS can help. Through HIMS.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but HIMS can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Experience, leadership, equity, and integrity represent how Sheriff Kevin Krause
effectively serves Allegheny County. Paul Martino here, supporting the re-election of Allegheny County Sheriff Kevin Krause. Kevin's proven commitment to public safety, his exemplary law enforcement principles, and his decades of local law enforcement service are key reasons to re-elect him as sheriff.
I'm Sheriff Kevin Krause. I'd be honored to earn your vote on May 20th.
Paid for by friends of Kevin Krause for sheriff.
Here's your Jill on Money question of the day.
Jen from Ohio asks, I'm 54 and I have a small pension from a former employer with an annuity payment of $236 per month at age 65 and $302 per month at age 70. I can take a lump sum payment of $25,000 at age 61. Should I take that amount and roll it over into an IRA? Would that be more beneficial? Jen, in this scenario, I'm inclined to take the lump sum since the monthly payments aren't that big. I think that come retirement, it would be easier for you to manage if you have all of the money in one place.
Have a question? Go to JillOnMoney.com.
Whether you're shaping up a small yard or tackling serious acreage, Steel Walk Behind, Zero Turn, and Stand-On mowers are built to get the job done. Shop online or at your local Steel dealer. Steel, let's go mow.
Where Pittsburgh comes to talk. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
You know what I liked about both of them? Honestly, they handle it like adults. Not abusive or obnoxious. Let each other talk. Love that kind of conversation. It was cool. I've known them both for at least 20 years, at least. Jay, go ahead, man. Thanks for holding.
Hey, real quick, let's face it, there is no difference between Ed Gainey and Corey O'Connor. Unless the 80 years of Democratic rule on this county and this city changes, nothing is going to change.
I disagree.
We have the
Can I
we
tell
have
you
the
why?
third-
Can I tell you why? Hold on.
Why? Go ahead.
Two things. Number one, Corey will get UPMC and the other big five charities to contribute to the city. He'll get that done. Number one, massive deal. Number two, Corey will allow developers to do their damn job. Massive deal number two. That's just the truth. So those are two major things that will change overnight. But go ahead.
But nothing else. Neither of them have any intention of doing anything with downtown. Downtown's screwed. You know it, and I know it. We got the third largest building.
Let me say this: you have a better chance of being elected mayor than us having a Republican mayor. It's just hopeless here for now. It just is, man.
Well, I agree with you. I think it's hopeless in the city of Pittsburgh.
It is.
I think it's hopeless in the county. I just found out that they plan on raising assessments next year, which will add more money to their coffers.
It will.
And they have. And real quick.
Yeah.
You've got someone like Bethany Hallam who says we need to start turning downtown into what they call, affordable housing, housing for the homeless. Downtown is an asset that needs to start making money.
It does, sir.
Because money is how we're going to make things work.
It does, sir.
We cannot have leaders who think that they can turn our only asset into something that's not going to make any money. We need the cash. Town has to change.
It does.
That's it.
And it's a great phone call, and it's relevant as hell. And I love you. Oh, my old friend Joanne. I've known her as long as I've known Anthony and
Right. We go way, way back.
Randall. Go ahead, Joanne.
And I don't agree with, I think, 3/4 of the things that comes across this station. But what I want to say is, I think downtown is as good as any other downtown.
No.
Well, that's your opinion. This is mine.
Hold on.
Because I go down there.
Joanne, when's the last time you, come on, and you cannot tell a lie because you're wonderful. When's the last time you were in downtown Pittsburgh?
Probably 3 weeks ago. I go down there to that Mediterranean restaurant down there.
Hold on. When's the last time you were in Center City, Chicago? Silence. Hold on. When's the last time?
I haven't been.
When's the last time you were in Miami, Florida, St. Petersburg, Florida, Austin, Texas?
Oh, my goodness. Well, let me tell you this.
Cleveland. In other words, you ain't been out of Pittsburgh, sister.
No, I was in California for many, many times a few years ago.
Oh, come on.
And before all this nonsense happened,
you have no perspective on what's happening in other cities right now because you ain't been to other cities.
Okay, and when have you been there?
I have been to every city I just named, and I research. I know what they're doing in Cincinnati. I know Cleveland had 4 times the development of Pittsburgh. I know that Harrisburg built more houses than Pittsburgh built. I know that Pittsburgh finished 40th in 40 economic indicators of a study just done on the value of this town. I know this stuff.
It didn't just happen when Mayor Gainey got in there, because this is something that's happened over the years.
It has.
The main thing I wanted to say, though, I am sad, I am disgusted, and I am heartbroken.
Why?
Of these men of color. If you think you can change, why don't you run for office?
Me? I don't live in a city, Joanne, and I'm not a politician.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about these men who say they're men of color. It's sad. It's disgusting. You don't hear any of these Republicans, these congressmen, these senators, any of their people on here arguing like against each other. I never heard so many men of color get on there and degrade somebody that's trying to run for office because they won't go out and run.
Why does it have to be about color? Why can't it be about their opinions? Just because.
Well, I wish it was.
Just because Randall disagrees with Anthony doesn't make them bad guys.
I did not say they were bad guys. I just said I'm disgusted. If you knew the history, you must not know our history. I've lived through it.
Yes, ma'am.
And when I see these men,
you know that.
Yeah, when I hear these men doing what they're doing, they don't know their history. They forgot it because you don't hear any of the Republicans degrading their people, no matter how bad these wimpy Republicans who have done what they've done.
I love you. Gotta go. I've loved her calls for 20 years. You know why? She's passionate. You know why? She gives a damn. So I'll always talk to Joanne. However, Pittsburgh needs change. It's the exact same scenario we saw in the last presidential election. America needed change. It's just the truth. There is no way you can tell me right now that Pittsburgh is headed in the direction you want it to head. There's no way. Check the schools. Check the streets. Check the cops. Check the budget. Check the job growth. Check it all, man. We are not headed in the right direction. When Harrisburg builds more homes than Pittsburgh, we got problems, brothers and sisters.
Honored to win the Marconi Award as the best news talk station in the country. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
Man, my friends at NASCO Roofing take pride on exceeding thousands of customers' expectations with superior roofing materials. They're the best. They're the best. Dee from Pittsburgh loves her NASCO roof. She was so happy that NASCO didn't try to pressure her into buying and care. NASCO took in cleaning up the job site, and the pressure was not there. NASCO has satisfied thousands of folks like Dee. Get NASCO on your roof. 412-373-2000, 412-373-2000. NASCO, N-A-S-C-O.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, we give our students credit where credit is due. Credit for deciding in the middle of rush hour traffic to go back and get their bachelor's and a promotion. Credit for managing 3 kids, 2 dogs, and a full-time job to pursue an MBA. And credit for serving in the military by day so they can study cybersecurity at night. For over 75 years, we've been helping students receive the credit they deserve. With more than 135 degrees and certificates, students at UMGC can use prior learning or relevant experience to earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's, and graduate students can transfer up to 12 credits toward their master's. At UMGC, you'll find everything from online to hybrid courses and lifetime career services to scholarship opportunities, making your education journey flexible, fast, and affordable. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start May 14th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Did you miss this week's Allegheny Health Network Medical Frontiers? Log on to the Allegheny Health Network website to listen to your favorite Medical Frontier show. Visit ahn.org/medical Medical Frontiers podcast and look for your favorite Medical Frontiers show.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studio.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's 57, mostly cloudy skies at 11 o'clock. I'm Paul Rasmussen. Catholics are flocking to the Vatican today to pay tribute to Pope Francis. Reporter Rich Lamb has more from St. Peter's Square.
Rivers of pilgrims, some led by a cross-bearer, are flowing down the Via della Conciliazione here into St. Peter's Square. It's a vast human tribute to the late Pope Francis, whose funeral mass is set to be celebrated here in the square on Saturday morning. The people have come to say farewell to a pope who in life, to his last day, showed his love to be among the people.
The Pope's body will be moved to St. Peter's Basilica tomorrow, where the public will be paying final respects. Allegheny County Controller and Pittsburgh mayoral candidate Corey O'Connor is responding to accusations his campaign is using racist tactics to unseat Mayor Ed Gainey. A group of activists and state representatives held a rally downtown Monday condemning a mailer sent to voters with an image of a dilapidated home that says, "The Ed Gainey Legacy." On the Big K Morning Show, O'Connor says the mailer came from an outside group.
By law, we have no coordination. We don't talk to them. I don't see them. I don't have any coordination with any mailer that would come from a group like that, whether it's a mailer or on television.
O'Connor was asked to denounce that mailer.
You know, it's not my mailer. It's not from me. I just told you, as I've told everybody, I denounce all hate speech and politics.
And that mailer was paid for by the Common Sense Change Action Political Action Committee. There's a new development in the hotly debated topic of property reassessment. State Senator Wayne Fontana is proposing legislation to require all counties in Pennsylvania to reassess properties at least every 5 years. On the Big K Morning Show, Fontana said he's not naive and realizes local officials won't support the idea, but he thinks the reform is overdue.
But the fact of the matter is, we're the only state that hasn't done one and don't do it on a scheduled basis.
In the meantime, Allegheny County Council member Bob Macy plans to introduce a bill today to give the Board of Property Assessment Appeals and Review more independence in making rulings. The Anti-Defamation League says the number of anti-Semitic incidents in the United States reached a record high last year. With that story, News Radio KDKA's Tamira Rush.
The audit finds a massive spike began after Hamas's October 7th terror attack. Rachel Sass is with the ADL Center on Extremism. She says over the past 10 years, the group has recorded a nearly 900% increase.
In 2024, we recorded 9,354 anti-Semitic incidents in the United States. This was the highest year on record since we started doing this research almost 50 years ago.
According to the report, for the first time, a majority of all incidents were related to Israel. Tamira Rush, News Radio, KDKA.
On Wall Street at this hour, the Dow is now ahead by 809 points at 38,978. And the Nasdaq is up 360 points, and the S&P is up 106. KDKA Sports' Bailey Falter is tonight's starter as the Pirates begin a 6-game road trip in L.A. First pitch for the Bucks and Angels is 9:38 Eastern. The news is brought to you by P.J. Fitzpatrick. For your home's windows, siding, doors, and bath, trust PJ.com. KDKA Radio News Time, 11:03. Learn how the Inflation Reduction Act impacts your Medicare plan. Get help selecting the best option by calling One Health Benefits, 724-799-8873. 57, overcast in Pittsburgh now. AAA traffic and the AccuWeather forecast next.
Hey, folks, it's Marty. Springtime, time to upgrade your windows, and I've got the plan for you. The best window company going, Universal Windows Direct. Right now, no interest until 2030, and a $500 bonus off your entire home improvement project. There's never been a better time. Check this out. Universal Windows Direct, 412-545-6003. 412-545-6003. Universal Windows Direct.
Hi, Paul Ellington here with a challenge. Maybe a challenge isn't the best choice of words, but let's call it an opportunity. Take the opportunity to lose 40 by the 4th with Awaken 180. It's a different ring to it when you have a finish line, doesn't it? 40 by the 4th. Maybe you look at the scale this morning and read 230 pounds, and You're thinking, boy, anything under 200 would be nice by the 4th of July. Maybe the scale says 300. How about 260? That's a little nicer on the eyes and your knees and everything else. It's attainable if you have the same results that we all have with Awaken 180. I dropped 35 pounds in just 6.5 weeks. There's no reason you can't drop 40 by the 4th. Ring Independence Day in with a healthy, confident, and a new you. You reached your goal with the help of Awaken 180, so crack open your beverage of choice and roast up the dogs because the weight's staying off thanks to free support for life. For the Pittsburgh location or the at-home program, reserve your consult today online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Shen Yun is coming to the Benedum Center, April 26th and 27th. Shen Yun revives China's divinely inspired traditional culture, lost in communist China today. Discover what China's 1.4 billion people can't see and why Shen Yun can't perform there. See Shen Yun at least once in your lifetime. The Benedum Center, April 26th and 27th. Tickets at shenyun.com. That's SHENYUN.com.
From the P.J. Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser Ellingamer. What's up, my friend?
All right, plenty of delays out there, Marty. And now we have a new accident to add to our list here. Crews are downtown busy with this on Grant Street near 6th Avenue. So watch out for slowdowns there. Just getting into downtown on the Parkway West, you have a whole lot of company, and you're still stacking to the top of Green Tree Hill as you try to make your way into the Fort Pitt tunnels and across the Fort Pitt Bridge. Parkway East inbound slow at Edgewood Swissvale for you. And a reminder, it's another closure of Old William Penn Highway in Monroeville. This kicked off this morning, and it's round the clock now through Friday the 25th at 6 p.m. Old William Penn Highway is closed between Evergreen Drive and Duff Road. There is a posted detour. Crews are continuing, of course, their reconstruction of the Parkway East Bridge over the road in that area. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Intervals of clouds and sunshine the rest of today, weighted more towards sunshine later this afternoon, the high 69, then partly cloudy tonight, though 47. More sun than clouds tomorrow and becoming warmer, high 77. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Spring is in the air here at Jim Shorkey Kia in North Huntington. New all-wheel drive 2025 Kia Soul LX. Lease for $199 a month for 24 months with $29.99 due at signing. Grab 1.9% APR for 60 months on 2025 Kia Sportage and Sorrento. A 500 vehicle selection, 3 years of prepaid maintenance, the industry's best warranty, and $500 more for your trade. Shop the big spring event at PA's #1 volume Kia dealer, JimShorkeyKia.com. Call 1-855-410-4996 for complete details on all offers and terms.
Come in and try the Good Feet feeling today. Comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief at the Good Feet store. Visit us in Robinson Town Center, in Cranberry Township, and now open in Morgantown.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Steel, walk behind, zero turn, and stand on mowers are built to get the job done. Shop online or at your local Steel dealer. Steel, let's go mow.
The 50,000-watt voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
Is there a bar or a club on the south side called Pitch? Yeah? I don't know, but no. There is? Oh. And I only ask this because it's the last place that Bryant Clay's been arrested again. Bryant Clay's our notorious felon who's been arrested 213 times. And one of my boys sent me a report. He was arrested again Saturday. He was at Pitch. He was intoxicated, leaning through an open window of the bar, disturbing the patrons inside the establishment. They took him in custody due to him being previously warned and defying the trespassing order. So that's what, 213 times he's been arrested, Brian Clay. I have had several texts recently, because it's election season, from men and women running for judge. I'm serious about this. And then, anecdotally, long-term, people want to run against Zapala or run for DA because there might be a possibility of Zapala retiring. And I send them all of Brian Clay's arrest reports of 213 of them. I'm not exaggerating. And tell them what the hell they would ask them, what the hell would you do about this? And as one of my boys who's a judge sent me about Ryan Clay, the courts and the district attorney must intervene now. Jail time and programming for addiction and possibly mental health. This is a mockery regarding Ryan Clay. The costs involve the taxpayers easily in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Can you imagine? 213 arrests. And only a matter of time until he injures Clay, or he gets killed, or a cop ends up shooting him, or someone shoots him. And then the judge adds this because the most recent arrest was on the south side, so it looks like his antics have now moved to the south side. He's right now being held as a prelim on the 30th. Yeah, as a prelim on the 30th, so 8 days. So he will be in jail for 8 days. And it's not just him. And it's why I asked these people running for judge what the hell they're going to do. Release people like they do Brian Clay. There are others out there and that are scaring the hell out of people that have multiple arrests. A judge did me a big favor last night. Let me get to these records. Okay? Hold on, folks. There's a point to this, believe me. And I have all these records that I acquired late last night of this woman whose name is, hold on, Josta Huff. An insane number of trespassing charges and harassment charges and possession charges and drug charges. And she's scaring the hell out of tenants who are just trying to live. And what's my point? We have this virus. We have this plague. We have this insane infestation of these chronic offenders in this turnstile of justice that just kicks them out, never helps them, and never incarcerates them. And all they do is scare the hell out of people and hurt people. How do I know this? One of my boys, one of my favorite people and a true activist, Ralph Williams, joins me right now. Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well, Marty. Thank you.
Ralph is on the V-Mix. Ralph, this woman scares the hell out of you. Tell us why, sir.
Well, she keeps trespassing and breaking into our building. I live at the Caligari Plaza up on Warrington in Allentown. She's on the street asking for money for drugs. And then somebody either keeps letting her in the building or she tries to break in. She's been arrested many times.
Right.
I've had her kicked out of the building. She's on what's called our exclusion list, which means you're not permitted in the building. I looked on the exclusion list last night. She is there. And so she's not allowed in the building, and any tenant that lets her in the building will automatically be evicted, but that's not happening. And she gets arrested all the time. About 2 weeks ago, she came and knocked on my door, and I said, go. I said, get out of here. I'm calling the police. I called the city police. They were there immediately. They came, and they went and they arrested her again and again.
And again, Ralph. This gets old,
Yes.
doesn't it, brother?
Yes, it does. And then she was in jail not too long ago, and all of a sudden I see her out on the streets again, and she keeps trying to come in our building. I don't know what it is with our building unless somebody in there selling drugs, or something, because she keeps trying to get in our building.
And Ralph, as the judge who sent me these records last night said, at some point she's going to hurt someone, and that's your fear, is it not, sir?
Yes, it is. Because I live in a building with senior citizens and some people that are mentally challenged. And, I live in there myself, my family. My mother lives in there. She's 79 years old. I can't have these people, someone like that coming in. She knocks on my door all the time. And I'm like, stop knocking on my door.
And she's selling drugs and dealing drugs and threatening people. And she's high and she's been drunk. And she has multitudes of arrests. What the hell is it about our system right now, Ralph? It doesn't hold these folks.
Well, I think it's.
Go ahead.
I think it's these progressives. You got the Xander Ornsteins of the world, Marty, and you got some of these other judges. That lady on the north side. Somebody's got to vote these people out and get them out of here. I don't know why Chief Judge Susan De Lucente don't do something about some of these judges or something. She's the president judge.
Well, she has moved some of them out of the courts where they have any authority to provide a bond for people. But you can't move 8 judges, brother. And there are 8 of them that are that far left.
I know, and it's getting old. It really is. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of seeing her doing this. One of these days, she's going to hurt. Like I said, we have elderly, handicapped like myself. I'm in a wheel. We can't have this.
And when you think of her, Ralph, you think of this guy, Brian Clay, that I've been talking about for a year now with 213 arrests and no end in sight. Do you not, sir?
Absolutely. You know what? I don't go downtown because I'm afraid I'm going to run into this Brian Clay. That's the, I don't go downtown anymore. The last time I was downtown was about a month and a half ago. I went down to speak at City Council, and I had to do some business at the mayor's office, which I'll talk to you about that some other time.
Hey, Ray, this isn't about the cops, because the cops arrest these people. This is about a system that kicks them out within a day or two, isn't it, sir?
Yes, it is. Absolutely. They need to start having them pay some bail. They need to start keeping them in jail and get them some help. I don't mind if they get them some help and they get away from this stuff. But when it continues and when these judges continue to release these people and whatnot, what happens is someday, like you said, somebody's going to get hurt, somebody's going to die, and then there's going to be a big problem here.
Absolutely. And that's the story I don't want to tell. And Ralph is the guy that doesn't want that to happen. That's why he's reaching out. I'm telling you, Ralph, all these campaign managers for these judges who want to come on the air and talk about how wonderful they are, I say, what are you going to do with Brian Clay? And I'm just going to add this woman to the list.
Yeah, I add her to the list, Marty, because she's almost as bad, if not as bad, as Brian Clay. The only difference is she does it up in Allentown. I don't know if she's done it anywhere else, but I know she's always up in Allentown. I'm told she possibly lives somewhere up behind the building.
It raises the issue of what the hell happened to law and order, Ralph. Thanks, brother. You're the best.
Oh, thank you. You have a great day, Marty. Thank you for having me on.
Where is the law and order? Honestly. Judge sent me a note, and it flat out said she's going to hurt someone. She's going to hurt someone. Here's the verbatim. Jesus, she could be dangerous. That's the verbatim from a judge. Traffic powered by Bowser Ellen Gamble. What's up?
All right, thanks, Marty. Downtown, crews still working to clear an accident on Grand Street near 6th Avenue. 28 southbound, a bit heavy between the Highland Park Bridge and the Route 8 exit as you travel there, heading into the 11 o'clock hour here. Parkway West inbound still kind of heavy, too. Remnants of the rush hour, we'll call it, backing you right around that Parkway Center Mall overpass before the Fort Pitt tunnels. Parkway East inbound slows at Edgewood Swissvale. Watch for single lane in each direction around ramp inspections on Route 366 at the Torrento Bridge this week. You'll find crews working there 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. through Saturday. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All the news you need for your day and the sports, music, and podcasts you love are all on the free Odyssey app. Download now.
Oh, by the way, Ivan's no longer on the project. His wife got a new job, so they're moving across the country.
Robin's top researcher is deviating to a new market. This isn't standard.
And now we're short-staffed. Who's going to finish all these projects?
She needs a cluster of new data analysts, and there's no margin for error.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Selling your home, it's one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. You could go it alone, trying to navigate market trends, determine fair pricing, and tackle tricky negotiations on your own. You could second-guess every decision, wondering if you're doing it right. Then there's the showings, the offers, and the mountain of paperwork. Or you could work with the expertise of a realtor, here to guide and help protect as you make your next big move. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
I have known Bob Tootie, who started Tootie Mechanical since I was in high school. We've been friends for 45 years. Tootie Mechanical is the best HVAC company in America. No exaggeration. The best service, the best experts, the best equipment, and the best pricing. And they treat you like they would treat their own family. Tootie Mechanical, 412-771-4100.
Broadway's must-see musical takes you into the heart of the remarkable true story of 7,000 stranded passengers and a small town in Newfoundland that welcomed them. Come From Away. Hail the because the best of the year across North America, Come From Away is a powerful celebration of humanity. Go see this gem of a musical, Come From Away.
May 2nd through 4th at the Benedum Center, trustarts.org, PNC Broadway in Pittsburgh.
For all station contest rules, go to kdkaradio.com/rules.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the mountains or go pick up your dry cleaning? RV wins! Are we cleaning the gutters or taking the RV camping? RV wins! Are we getting a new passport or cruising up the coast? RV wins!
Don't forget, you got that trip to Sweden coming up.
Oh, yeah, passport, then RV.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states and situations.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-334-2266. That's 800-334-2266. 800-334-2266.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Hey, folks, it's Marty. Turning 65? Are you overwhelmed by Medicare options? With over 60 plans to choose from, it's easy to get confused. MediConnect is hosting free in-person workshops across Pittsburgh for answers you need. No obligation, just advice. Whether you have questions about coverage, prescriptions, retirement goals, MediConnect's team will assist in finding the right plan for you. Call 888-818-6334. 888-818-6334. Medicare made simple. UPMC, life-changing, life-saving medicine. I live it.
Pittsburgh's 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
What's up? At the bottom of the hour, we're going to talk to Kerry Coghill about what's happened with the stock market. It's actually kind of insane. The biggest drop in the market since the Great Depression. How about that? Kind of wild. Kind of wild. Ralph is one of my boys and makes a valid complaint. And the rhetoric and the narrative I've had going for months now regarding Ryan Clay is legitimate and relevant. There's no way in hell in Pittsburgh a guy should be arrested 213 times to be out in the streets to get arrested again. It just shouldn't happen. With regards to him, someone should intervene with him and either offer him one of 3 things: rehab, right? Alcohol rehab, drug rehab, mental health treatment, or extensive jail time. That's it. I have been told by a significant number of judges this all comes down to lazy DAs, the DA's office. Try to get them to respond to anything. I have been told that they have no interest in spending time and making sure this guy's put in jail, so they kick him every time. 213 arrests. I have stacks of arrests. His last arrest was Saturday. What's today? Tuesday. He'll be out again by tomorrow. And so it goes. So obviously he doesn't dry out in jail. He's an alcoholic, obviously, and has drug issues, obviously. So he somehow gets by in jail, then gets out and gets right back to it. I've asked a number of folks if we go and find him once he's out again, and I've even requested an opportunity to sit down with him to talk to him in jail. We'll see how that goes, too. And then, my man, calling this morning, Ralph is spot on. He's got this young woman who is high and or drunk and or mentally ill, who's committed a significant number of offenses at his apartment complex. Hurt people, harassed people, arrested a multitude of times, and every single time gets back out of jail. Now, I'm not a throw the book at them guy. I'm not suggesting that throwing this woman in jail for 20 years is the plan. Nor do I believe throwing Brian Clay in jail for 20 years is the plan. However, don't you think we should have a plan other than just kick him? Just kick her, see how it goes. Folks, these stories always have unhappy endings. And they end one of 2 ways. Clay gets killed or someone else gets killed. this woman gets killed or someone else gets killed. Horrible. Renee, go ahead. Thanks for holding.
Marty?
Yes, Renee.
Hi. So I don't know where to begin. I'm up here in China Heights. I know you were up here not too long ago in our area about the Pittsburgh Mills potholes.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm dealing with an animal neglect situation. I'm not an authority or anything. Everybody calls me because I try to get things done. I have a lot of resources, a lot of friends.
Yeah.
So they said, call Marty Griffin, call Marty Griffin. So my sister-in-law just gave me the number a few minutes ago, and I said, I'm going to take a shot at it.
What's going on?
So, okay. So a woman she attempted suicide. It's a woman with mental issues.
Oh, gosh.
She attempted suicide and was taken away to a facility, about a little over 2 weeks ago.
Oh, gosh.
In the meantime, okay, my niece kind of knows this woman because this woman frequented the bar where my niece worked. And my niece also knows the landlords who live downstairs of the woman. They frequented the bar as well. So what the story was brought to me is the woman was in the facility. She does have a mentally, I don't know if they said mentally disabled son that I guess was popping in and out of there. And the landlord was assuming that he was speeding the animals. But he may be doing that sporadically, but I went in there. The landlord let me go in.
Oh.
Are you still there?
Yeah, I am. What happened? What's in there?
Okay, I have pictures.
Oh.
I've called 911 twice. That's why I'm calling you, Marty. I've called 911 twice. I've had the police there twice. I've called the animal control officer. I've called various shelters in the area, and I'm meeting a brick wall everywhere I go because they're all telling me it's illegal to go in there and take them out without her signature.
So hold on. Before I get these photos from you, we're going to put you on hold and get your number so you can text them to me. What are you seeing in the house when you go in there?
Okay. First of all, the house has the windows broken out of it.
Oh, gosh.
I'm not on the air, am I?
You are. Hold on. I didn't know you did not know that, ma'am. It's a talk show. Hold on. I'm going to put you on hold, and this will be easier to deal with on a... But what kind of animals did you see in there before I put you on hold?
Okay, supposedly there were 5 animals, a rabbit, 2 cats, 2 dogs. We could not find the rabbit anywhere. I did have eyes on the 2 cats. The one dog is a beautiful hunting dog. It looks like some type of setter. It's in a cage so small that it looks like it's deformed. Its back is all hunched over.
All right, we'll get on it. I'm going to put you on hold. He's going to grab your number. Then I'll text you, and then we'll get this going. Hold. Thanks for calling us. Yeah, we'll get that taken care of. That's awful.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. It's no wonder that ZipRecruiter is the place for skilled skydiving instructors, accomplished airbrush artists, and proficient pediatricians. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter to hire, you're missing out. ZipRecruiter is the place that's so confident it can make your hiring easier that it lets you try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. So if you want the right candidates for all your roles, ZipRecruiter is the place to go. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Who doesn't love Earth Day? But it brings out fleas, ticks, spiders, bedbugs, ants, roaches, spotted lanternflies, stink bugs, millipedes. You know the deal. Well, you need to know about Harmony Organic Insect Control. Available at EV True Value or online. Harmony is safe around children and pets. It's long-lasting, and right now, today only, take 20% off. Go to HarmonyOIC.com, HarmonyOIC.com, or visit EV True Value in Bethel Park.
From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studio.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
57 and mostly cloudy, 11:30 now. I'm Paul Rasmussen. Odyssey stations nationwide, including KDKA Radio, are marking Earth Day by engaging in community projects. News Radio KDKA's David Ballarado reports.
Locally, that includes Odyssey volunteers cleaning up parts of Manchester, along with the Manchester Citizens Corporation. Resident Glenn Falk is excited to see the volunteers.
It's nice to have the extra participation and the help we can get within the community and outside the community, and I hope it grows.
Volunteers are doing things like cleaning up garbage and helping with the flower display that greets you as you enter the community. In Manchester, David Ballarado, News Radio KDKA.
Well, the next time you go to the pharmacy to pick up medications, you may get them in new paper-based pill bottles. News Radio KDKA's Tamira Rush has more.
It's all part of a pilot program created by Parcel Health, a startup co-founded by CEO Melinda Soon-In Lee, with the goal of reducing the amount of plastic pill bottle waste.
When they see the pill bottle, they're going to be surprised that it doesn't look like a standard plastic pill bottle, but it does have the same shape. So it's still a cylindrical shape, and the child-resistant closure is a push and twist mechanism, and on the outside, it is a coated paper, which makes it water-resistant.
These new bottles, also known as the Tully Tube, are already being used at Allegheny Valley Hospital, but AHN plans to roll these out to its other pharmacies throughout the health network. Tamira Rush, News Radio KDKA.
Merger talks are underway between two Allegheny County Police Departments, Etna Borough and Reserve Township, recently started consideration of combining their police forces to cut costs and improve officer recruitment and retention. The communities have sent a request for assistance to a state agency. If it is approved, a feasibility study will begin. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 778 points, now at 38,948. That's over 2%. The Nasdaq is up 370 points. That's 2 1/3%. And the S&P is up 106 points, just over 2%. KDKA Radio News Time, 11:31. Our next update at noon, I'm Paul Rasmussen on the Voice of Pittsburgh, News Radio KDKA.
If you are new to Medicare and have questions, Aetna can help. Aetna has a Medicare Advantage plan that includes prescription drug coverage with a $0 monthly plan premium. Plus, the plan includes benefits like dental, vision, and hearing. Call Aetna today at 1-833-771-3415 to learn more. A licensed agent will answer your call.
Aetna Medicare is an HMO PPO plan with a Medicare contract. Our DSMPs also have contracts with state Medicaid programs. Enrollment in our plans depends on contract renewal. Plan features and availability may vary by service area.
I have known Rob Pierce for years, and I mean years. And here's the deal. I'm going to give you an example. When I wanted to find a nursing home for someone I loved, I called Rob Pierce. Why? Because they have represented so many folks and protected them and chose the right nursing home and represented their families when someone they love was harmed. Robert Pierce and Associates. Man, he's been at it more than 30 years. 412-214-7477. Ozempic. Folks getting sick. Folks getting violently ill. Boom. Rob Pierce and Associates represented them. Fighting for them. Time after time. Medical issues. Product liability issues. Nursing care issues. Rob Pierce and Associates. True professional. The best going. 412-214-7477. Rob Pierce and Associates.
Shenyun is coming to the Benedum Center, April 26th and 27th. How many times have you thought about attending but missed out? Be sure to catch it this time. Embark on a journey through 5,000 years of beauty, wisdom, and drama in this powerful production. Find out why audiences worldwide call it a touch of heaven and applaud its incredible hope and spirit. The Benedum Center, April 26th and 27th. Tickets at SHENYUN.com.
Hey, are your glass shower doors past their prime, dated, tarnished, faded, or maybe just boring? Well, transform your shower into a spa-like retreat with a custom glass shower enclosure from Boulevard Glass in Metal. This is the same team you've seen installing those large glass storefronts all around town. Choose from frameless designs, elegant finishes, and custom configurations to elevate that quality time in your bathroom. Give them a call, 412-621-1799. Boulevard Glass and Metal can also customize your bathroom mirror.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos, and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular to get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month, and now for a limited time, new customers can get their second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit a store near you, or consumercellular.com and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Phone the PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser, Ellen Gamble. What's up?
All right, Marty, what's up is an accident now in Mount Oliver. Crews are rolling up on the scene on Brownsville Road at the intersection with Arlington Avenue, so watch for slowdowns there. Easy to spot the slowdowns as you're coming inbound on the Parkway West. They have receded considerably, we'll give you that, but you're still in sluggish traffic right around that Banksville on-ramp before the inbound Fort Pitt tunnels. Getting up onto the outbound lower deck of the Fort Pitt Bridge, kind of slow for you on the approaches both on the Parkway East and coming from the Fort Duquesne Bridge. Once you get through the tunnels, just a little bit of slow traffic, and then it does ease up and move well for you the rest of the way out to the western suburbs and Pittsburgh International Airport. Parkway East inbound is slow for you between Edgewood, Swissvale, and the Squirrel Hill tunnels. AAA traffic on the 5s from the iParkit app. Download iParkit and save on parking. Our next report at 11:45. I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
For the rest of today, intervals of clouds and sun. It'll be breezy at times with a high of 69. Partly cloudy tonight, though 47. Partly to mostly sunny tomorrow and becoming warmer in the afternoon, high 77. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The easiest way to park in uptown and downtown Pittsburgh is to download iParkit. When you use iParkit, you're guaranteed the best prices at the most convenient parking garages for game day, theaters, work, or play. From uptown to downtown, iParkit has you covered. Download iParkit and save. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. Indeed's Sponsored Jobs feature helps you stand out and hire fast. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
Hey, folks, it's Marty. These guys are good. Before Oakmont Country Club hosts the big event in June, they need to replace their deck. My favorite family-owned construction company, C&S Cousins Construction, won the contract. 3 local guys, love them. Sam, Steve, and Calvin. If you're replacing your windows, doors, decks, everything from the top of your house to the patio, call them now. From planning, design to construction, C&S Cousins Construction are here to enhance and expand your living space. C&S Cousins Construction. 989-COUSINS. 989-COUSINS.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
All right, back again today. It's a Tuesday. So much to get into. A little more talk about the Pope, but there's so many other things, too, and we will hit it all. Colin Dunlap with you at 2 to 6 today, as always, right here, KDK.
So, some of the headlines are a tad apocalyptic, and I'm not that kind of guy, and fatalistic, and I'm not that kind of guy. Quite frankly, I trust in the financial advisors that we have, and I trust that the system ends up playing out. And if you look at history with the market ends up playing out in our favor. However, my Bible, as I call it, and if you listen to the show, you know that, is the Wall Street Journal, and other financial periodicals like Forbes. And it's grim. If you look and you believe this stuff and you project it out, it makes a lot of people nervous. I mean, when the Wall Street Journal says this is the worst we've seen since the Great Depression, when you hear stuff like this is like the Great Depression, you kind of get anxious. And the truth is, I had to grab what I consider to be the best I know, and someone who is honestly around the country known as a guru, and very pragmatic and very, very practical in her thinking, Carrie Coghill joining this morning. How are you, Carrie?
Hi, I'm doing good today. Things are green.
You do kind of see where I'm coming from and how folks are starting to get, what would the word be, Carrie, anxious when you hear Great Depression and stock market in the same sentence or headline. Do you not?
Yeah, I think for sure, of course. I think there's a lot of uncertainty. I think that, the media does love to compare headlines.
It's true.
When you look at, when the market goes down, it's always, this is the worst ever since XYZ period.
We all do that. Yes. We love lists, Carrie. We love lists. Yeah.
Right. So when you make that comparison to something like the Great Depression, it really can scare people.
Yep.
And that's why you have to take a step back and say, well, what's the same, what's different?
I find it amazing, quite frankly, that you said this a month and a half ago. One post on X. Like Trump called Powell a loser and an idiot. We're in a strange kind of bizarro world scenario in finance, are we not, with those sorts of insults being lobbed from the president toward the Fed chairman, and that scares people too, does it not?
Oh, it does, but I will say this. Hey, listen, like name calling didn't we teach our kids like in kindergarten, don't call people names. But I do think that this issue that is now on everyone's mind about Powell and he can't fire him and what if he does, like to me, this is like, okay, what if he does? Okay, he wants to fire him because he's not lowering interest rates. So if he finds a way to fire him, he'll fire him. And someone will come in and lower interest rates. And, the market doesn't hate it when interest rates go down. So, I think we're making a really big deal about this as it actually relates to impact that it may or may not have. There definitely are implications in terms of how the rest of the world would view a lack of separation between the Federal Reserve and the administration. But, when you really look at the Federal Reserve and why there's a separation, it is so the Federal Reserve can make decisions not based on politics and they can be the bad guy. So when they have to raise interest rates, no one likes that, but it's necessary. So I think that the relationship would become kind of convoluted, but I don't necessarily think that that's where we're going with this. I think he wants Powell out. He wants to name his own person. And I think that the Fed will, generally still remain independent.
Hey, Carrie, from a pragmatic standpoint, when a guy emails me, and I got a stack of them, and he says it's going to take 2 years to make up everything I lost in the last 2 weeks, is that accurate? And will it really take 2 years to recover?
Well, we had a very similar reaction in the markets during COVID, except worse.
We did.
From February to March, the market was down 33%. We've not seen that kind of decline yet. I think at the bottom, we were down, from top to bottom, we're down 19%. And the market had fully recovered by August of the same year. So it really depends on the reason why. Now, in 2008, when we had some real structural issues with the market, it did take 2 years to recover. But in a situation like this, where, as you just said, a tweet can change everything, we would not be anticipating at this point that it's going to be kind of this long slug out. as long as we do get some resolution along the way with tariffs and so forth. And it sounds like we are. The administration reported this morning that they're making a lot of progress with India. So, I don't think that anyone, including the president, wants to blow up our economy. So, the way that we might be getting to a result that kind of serves the country better, I don't know that a lot of people necessarily agree with how it's happening. But when the people that make the rules can change them or post a tweet, that's something that's hard to bet against. There are some, I don't want to make it seem like, oh, this will just all go away with a tweet. There definitely, you really have to pay attention to international relationships. And that's really where bonds and the treasury and the confidence in the dollar.
Yeah, and there's problems with the dollar and bond sales I've been reading too. So it's like this calamity of errors, a confluence of insanity, as some guys call it.
Yeah, and there are technical reasons why they're selling in the treasury market right now. And a lot of that has to do with hedge funds. And hedge funds, when you have any market that's being whipsawed, hedge funds it can create a problem for hedge funds, and they need to get out of their positions. What we're watching more closely are the new issuance of debt and who's buying that debt. So we'll be watching that closely over the next month. As far as the dollar going down, I actually believe it's the administration's intent to weaken the dollar because that makes our exports more attractive.
So translation is, and I don't need to speak for you because you're brilliant at this, chill out. Don't freak out. Is that what you're trying to tell us?
Yeah, definitely don't freak out, and Marty, what's really interesting is that in times like this, people want a very definitive answer.
They do.
Should I sell everything?
They do.
Or should I buy everything? And really, for those people that are freaking out, taking a more measured approach, if this makes you really nervous and you want to, get some money to the sideline, be methodical about how you're doing it. Hey, if I had, whatever that number is in cash, I could then not worry about the volatility on the other side. So it shouldn't be an all or nothing game at this point.
Carrie Coghill Investment Strategies, the voice of reason. Thank you, my friend. You're the best. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Marty.
In other words, chill out. Chill out, folks. You can't freak out. You end up losing more money than you can imagine. From the PJ Fitzpatrick, but if you need it now, it's kind of bad. From the PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser, Ellen Gamble. What's up?
All right, Marty. Well, we just have some of the usual traffic delays, as you would expect, heading toward tunnels on the parkways east and west, respectively. But other than that, we do want to talk construction. Look for slow traffic around lane restrictions on Route 30, Ardmore Boulevard in Wilkinsburg today and tomorrow. Drilling operations happening 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. with the lane restrictions and the slowdowns between Morrow Road and the Parkway East. Extra time will be needed there. Also in Freedomboro, Beaver County on Route 65, Ohio River Boulevard will have a single lane restriction southbound between the East Rochester Monaca Bridge and River Road as crews from Norfolk Southern do some track maintenance there. That lane pinch will be in your way until 5 p.m. With AAA traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Did you know that now you can listen to all your favorite stations, including this one, shows, and even podcasts, all on the Odyssey app? Download it now.
Pittsburgh, don't use the spring to paint your house. Do what Deanna did. She called Rhino Shield.
I was noticing some cracks and the paint's faded. And I was like, okay, I think I should get my house painted. So my neighbor had a Rhino Shield placard in the yard. And after they were finished, I was just, wow. With the warranty and everything, it just seemed silly not to go that route.
Rhino Shield ceramic technology is formulated for our unique climate here in Pittsburgh.
So the Rhino Shield crew came out. Nothing was damaged in the process. I was very happy. They just didn't leave a mess. You couldn't even tell they were there. And the house looked so different. It just looked like a new home.
Backed by a 25-year transferable warranty. And now get the protection of Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price.
Rhino Shield, I think it increases the value and the curb appeal of your home. Definitely worth it.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Hi, it's Brian Quaranta, host of On the Money, every Saturday morning, 8 to 9 a.m. on KDKA Radio. Retirement planning doesn't have to be stressful. Each week on our radio show, On the Money, I'll guide you through topics like building retirement income plan, minimizing taxes, and protecting your hard-earned savings. Join me this Saturday from 8 to 9 a.m. on KDKA Radio. Let's make your retirement plan as simple and stress-free as possible. That's On the Money, where retirement planning meets peace of mind.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Johns Hopkins University has found that just mild hearing loss doubles your risk of dementia. So hearing loss isn't something to ignore.
But hearing aids are so expensive and ugly.
Not anymore. Meet Audion Hearing. You can get nearly invisible hearing aids without a prescription starting at $98 a pair. And they're ready to use right out of the box. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health. And with over 1 million customers, Audion is easy to trust. Visit audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Will new tariffs impact small businesses? Rising costs and economic uncertainty can hurt your bottom line. But with Swish Funding, your business can stay strong. We offer fast, flexible funding solutions from $10,000 to $2 million for working capital, cash flow, and more, and as little as 24 hours with no collateral needed. If your business earns at least $50,000 per month and has been around for over a year, you could qualify today. Go to swishradio.com and use code RADIO. SwishRadio.com, code RADIO.
And now for a business news update from the Pittsburgh Business Times. I'm managing editor Mike Larson. A plan for Duquesne University's next new building is in the early stages of seeking city approvals. In a development activities meeting of 5 community organizations yesterday evening, a development team for the university detailed plans to make a minor revision in its institutional master plan for its urban campus uptown. The revision calls for changing the university's master plan to allow for a new building to replace what is now a surface parking lot across McGee Street from the UPMC Cooper Fieldhouse on Forbes Avenue. Also, local startup Hebe Robotics recently inked a contract with NASA's Ames Research Center to collaborate on the development of autonomous systems for space. The partnership's goals are described as the next step forward from Silicon Valley-based Ames Armadas project, where the center researched how autonomous robots could possibly assemble structures in space. Now the startup will work with the research center to advance autonomous systems and digital framework that will be utilized to construct and maintain adaptable structures in space, including modular habitats, satellites, and telescopes, according to a release. For more on these stories and other local business news, log on to pittsburghbusinesstimes.com. I'm Mike Larson.
Hear about it, then talk about it. 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
I am not a guru or an expert. I don't know any of these things. That's why I respect and admire people like Carrie. I ask people that know this stuff all the time because I don't have any intellect in it. I spend no time in it. I watched this movie that was based on a true story, and I know Patrick knows this background on Dumb Money, it's called. It was about GameStop and how this kid, in essence, drove up the price of GameStop just through social media and believing in it. And then he got other kids to do it, and they drove it up to like $700 a share. Then it crashed. And that the market, in essence, was this massive gamble. And I got all these people sending me texts, buy now. I ain't buying squat. I don't know enough about it. It rises and falls by 1,000 points a day, man. And then you see headlines in the Wall Street Journal that say Great Depression. Elisa had made several points that are relevant. If you need money right now, this is kind of a bad place. If you need money in your 401k and you're taking it out, you've already taken, well, what did she say? It's down at least 20%, so you've already lost 20%. So you're taking out money on something that you've lost 20% on already, which is why family members and friends that I know that are retired put their big money in bonds before they retired, because bonds are stable. They don't offer the big return, but they don't drop by 20%. I also agree with Lisa. I have to have faith that what Trump and his people are doing is going to work out. Otherwise, what are you going to do, man? Put your head under the covers and cry. And historically, the market's always returned 9 to 12%. Some years not. Some years a lot more. Some years a lot less. But historically. And I remember talking to Patrick about this. Our 401k blew up last year. I mean, we crushed it. We were up a couple $100,000, and that's gone now. But I honestly don't fixate on it, because I'm not going to retire probably for 5 to 7 years. I got 2 kids in college and another kid headed there. So we're talking about colleges last night, and I have a niece that's going to one of these country club colleges. And I don't know why it irritates me, but it does. It irritates the hell out of me that parents choose a college because they have great food and pretty dorms. I told my kids last night, so there's this college that's about $90,000, and they have insane food. Okay. I don't really care if they have a hibachi grill in the dorm. I don't care if they have big screen TVs. I just don't care. My nephew's at some college in Arizona. They have a pool on the roof, and he parties every day and goes to the pool. If that was my son, I'd say, my man, you ain't living at a country club. Get your ass home. I just don't think that way. I am not going to spend $80,000 a year so my kid can go to a country club college. I'm pragmatic. You got to be able to pay for it. And I am also not going to bury my kids in $300,000 to $400,000 in loans until they die. I'm not going to do it. I don't give a damn if their friends are going to school in L.A. I just don't. I don't care if Arizona's the great place to party. I just don't care if Boulder, Colorado is the greatest school ever for skiing. I told my kids, you want to go to bartending school and drink? I'll send you to bartender college. It's $1,200. But we're on the phone with my niece, and she's literally telling us, we have queen-size beds in our dorms. I don't give a crap. You know why? Because your school's $90,000 and Pitt's $37,000. How about that? So my kids will go to 3 years of school, but you'll have a queen-size bed and a pool on the roof and a hibachi grill in the friggin' cafeteria. I don't care. If you work hard enough, you have all those things when you get out of college. I am not an endorser of these colleges that try to sell the sizzle but have no stake. It's a bad decision the parents make in an effort to further spoil their kids and teach them the wrong way to live.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for moms.
Kimberly Allen here with Corrigan Moving Systems. Planning to move your office or business? Trust Corrigan Moving Systems, formerly Parks Moving and Storage, Pittsburgh's leader in workplace solutions. From office relocations to decommissioning, warehousing, and inventory management. Corrigan makes moving seamless so your office can be back up and running without skipping a beat. For a free quote, go to CorriganMoving.com or give us a call at 724-237-4578.
My man JK owns up Vinny's in Oakmont. So JK has set up this insane Kentucky Derby party Saturday, May 3rd. Wow, this is cool. Doors open at 10 a.m. Vinny's. 70 televisions. Horse racing all day. Wow. Phones out, bets in. Wear your Derby best or just a hat like the rest. I love this place, folks. By the way, a prize for the best dressed and the best hat. Giveaways all day. The DJ starts at 1 p.m. Vinny's in Oakmont. Check it out.
Imagine an airport where you park your car, take a short walk to the terminal, and easily find everything you need. After a short TSA line, you're at your gate. Soon you're on board and lifting off to your destination. Welcome to the Palmer Regional Airport. Come travel with the Palmer Regional and Spirit Airlines. Flights to Fort Lauderdale, Orlando, and Myrtle Beach starting in May. Non-stop flight destinations, short TSA screening lines, and best of all, free parking. Experience the difference. The Palmer Regional Airport.
Man, my friends at NASCO Roofing take pride on exceeding thousands of customers' expectations with superior roofing materials. They're the best. They're the best. Dee from Pittsburgh loves her NASCO roof. She was so happy that NASCO didn't try to pressure her into buying and care. NASCO took in cleaning up the job site, and the pressure was not there. NASCO has satisfied thousands of folks like Dee. Get NASCO on your roof. 412-373-2000. 412-373-2000. NASCO, N-A-S-C-O.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studio.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
60 and mostly cloudy at 12 o'clock. I'm Paul Rasmussen. The Vatican has announced Saturday as the date for Pope Francis's funeral, with public viewing beginning tomorrow at St. Peter's Basilica. CBS's Tina Kraus is in Rome.
In a break with tradition, the Pope will be buried at the Basilica of St. Mary Major in Rome, a church where he often prayed during his papacy, including on his first day as Pope. In his will, the pontiff requested that he be buried in a simple tomb with a one-word inscription that reads, Franciscus.
The first images of Francis's body were released this morning, showing him in a wooden casket in the chapel of the hotel where he lived and died. New data on anti-Semitic incidents in 2024 is record-breaking, according to the Anti-Defamation League. News Radio KDKA's Tamira Rush has more.
The ADL recorded more than 9,300 anti-Semitic incidents across the country last year. Rachel Sass with the ADL Center on Extremism says, as far as where they're seeing it,
while college campuses used to be relatively marginal in terms of a location of where anti-Semitism occurs, it's now become one of the major epicenters of where we see anti-Semitic activity.
The state with the highest levels of anti-Semitic incidents is New York with over 1,400. Pennsylvania is ranked fourth with over 400. Tamira Rush, News Radio KDKA.
Too few predators and plentiful food equal increasing deer populations. As a result, Ross Township commissioners voted last night to start a cull with sharpshooters in select areas during the overnight hours.
These are very seasoned hunters. They know what they're doing. They know the rules. They know the regulations.
On the Big K Morning Show, Ross Commission President Dan DeMarco said he hopes the cull program will start next year.
We're hoping through their expertise, they're going to be able to put a bigger dent in the population.
Intentional feeding of deer was banned in Ross in 2018, and archery hunts started in 2020, but the number of deer in the township continues to grow. Pittsburgh's Democratic mayoral primary is 2 weeks away, with a deadline to register to vote getting closer. With more on that, News Radio KDKA's David Ballarado.
The deadline to register to vote is May 5th, which can be done online at vote.pa.gov, or would-be voters can also register at various locations, including the county elections office. Those who plan to vote by mail should also know the clock is ticking, with applications for a mail-in ballot due by 5 p.m. on May 15th. The ballot itself must be returned by 8 p.m. on May 20th, the day of the primary. David Ballarado, News Radio KDKA.
People opposed to spending $25 million on a stadium project turned out last night for the Norwin School Board meeting. Critics say tearing down and rebuilding the grandstand, new artificial turf, and a new track are unnecessary and will cost taxpayers too much. The Norwin Board voted 5-4 last week to approve the project. On Wall Street, the Dow is now up 1,049 points at 39,219. The NASDAQ is up 455 points, and the S&P is up 138. All the markets up more than 2.5% at this hour. KDKA Sports, Bailey Falter is tonight's starter. The Pirates are beginning a six-game road trip in L.A. First pitch for the Bucks and Angels, 9:38 Eastern. The news is brought to you by P.J. Fitzpatrick. Need a new roof or want to repair a small leak? Trust PJ.com. KDKA Radio News Time, 12:03. Time to call Coit at 1-800-FOR-COIT for huge Easter home cleaning savings. Save 35% off all Coit cleaning services. Skies are mostly cloudy at 60 at Pittsburgh International. The AccuWeather forecast next.
Hey, folks, it's Marty. Springtime, time to upgrade your windows, and I've got the plan for you. The best window company going, Universal Windows Direct. Right now, no interest until 2030, and a $500 bonus off your entire home improvement project. There's never been a better time. Check this out. Universal Windows Direct, 412-545-6003. 412-545-6003. Universal Windows Direct.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV, RV wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the mountains or go pick up your dry cleaning? RV wins! Are we cleaning the gutters or taking the RV camping? RV wins! Are we getting a new passport or cruising up the coast? RV wins!
Don't forget, you got that trip to Sweden coming up.
Oh, yeah, passport, then RV.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states and situations.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-334-2266. That's 800-334-2266. 800-334-2266.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Imagine an airport where you park your car, take a short walk to the terminal, and easily find everything you need. After a short TSA line, you're at your gate. Soon you're on board and lifting off to your destination. Welcome to the Palmer Regional Airport. Come travel with the Palmer Regional and Spirit Airlines. Flights to Fort Lauderdale, Orlando, and Myrtle Beach starting in May. Non-stop flight destinations, short TSA screening lines, and best of all, free parking. Experience the difference. The Palmer Regional Airport.
Who doesn't love Earth Day? But it brings out fleas, ticks, spiders, bedbugs, ants, roaches, spotted lanternflies, stink bugs, millipedes. You know the deal. Well, you need to know about Harmony Organic Insect Control. Available at EV True Value or online. Harmony is safe around children and pets. It's long-lasting, and right now, today only, take 20% off. Go to harmonyoic.com, harmonyoic.com, or visit EV True Value in Bethel Park.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
For the rest of today, intervals of clouds and sun. It'll be breezy at times with a high of 69, partly cloudy tonight, though 47. Partly to mostly sunny tomorrow and becoming warmer in the afternoon, high 77. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED, because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, HIMS can help. Through HIMS.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but HIMS can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Spring is here, and it's time for a new adventure. C. Harper Cadillac has the vehicle you need to fuel your fun this season. Stop by their dealership in Belle Vernon or view their inventory at charpercadillac.com. C. Harper Cadillac, the best price every time, all the time.
The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Finishing my thought that I started on the last hour regarding these country club colleges. I find it to be ignorant on the basis of parents and the thought process. Hey, my kids tried to sell Daddy. Sophia wanted to go to school in California. I said no. Tell me why. Other than it's sunny and you'd like to learn to surf. It ain't happening. Chloe, who's going to Pitt along with Sophia, wanted to go to school in Boulder. Why? Because it's a party school and they like to ski. I said, I don't really care. My friends are going to Miami, my daughter said. I said, okay, how much is Miami? It's a private school. It's $100,000 a year. Why? Miami's beautiful and they have great dormitories. I don't care. I hear other pitches from kids on my kids and their friends sending pictures of their dorms, and they have queen beds and big screens in their dorms. I don't care. My niece is going to this High Point College. It's in, I think, North Carolina. It's $90,000. You know what the pitch was? They have gourmet restaurants and a chef that makes hibachi. I really don't care. When you get out of school and get a damn job, then you can get a job, and then you can buy hibachi. I don't care if you have a big screen, man. I'm not a bad guy. I'm a hardworking father, and I'm not going to, number one, we're going to try to pay for all of our kids' college, and number two, we ain't taking out loans for them so that they can go to a pool on the roof. My other nephew's at Arizona, and they have a pool on the roof. I don't care. We had him on a Zoom call on Easter. He had a great tan. I don't give a crap about his tan. Come to find out he can't get into business school because his grades aren't a 3.0. Oh, but he's tan. Look, man, I love my kids. I would die for my kids, but I ain't spending $90,000 so they can get a tan and get drunk. It ain't happening. I told Patrick this about bartending school, and I said it was $400, and he looked it up at $1,600. Okay. You want to be a bartender, Daddy will send you to bartending school. But if you think you're going to college to drink and tan and sleep in a queen-size bed and have a big screen with Netflix, not on my dime and not on your dime, I am not loaning you out. So you can pay loans. We know people that pay loans and they're 60 years old still paying their college loans. It's ridiculous. I have him on regarding a completely separate issue, but he's one of the best lawyers in the country, and he's one of my good friends. And we're going to get to that big issue, but Tom King knows what I'm talking about. How are you, brother?
Just fine, Marty. How about you?
Do we not have to take a more pragmatic approach as parents to where we send our kids to school, thinking about, I ain't taking out $500,000 in loans for my kid, right?
Yes, sir. My kid, I'm proud to say that my three kids have completed their educations. They're hardworking. They go to work every day, and they've got good jobs. So I think it's a real dilemma in today's society.
And Tom, you're like me, brother, pragmatic. It never crossed your mind, oh, my God, she doesn't have a big screen or a queen-size bed in her college. Did it, sir?
No. I can honestly say that wasn't one of the requirements of being a parent.
But this is what happens now. So you grow up with a silver spoon, you go to college with a silver spoon, then you get out of college, you got no spoon, and you're calling Daddy saying, Daddy, get me a job. Huh? Right?
I think in today's world what we see is that people are beginning to realize that some of these degrees, we see people all the time, I'm sure you see them too, they have a degree in something that means absolutely nothing. They can't do anything. And the best they can do is become and there's not that there's anything wrong with being a barista, but that's what they can become.
So before I get to his this big litigation that he's in the middle of, which is amazing, to that point, I know a girl who's a TV reporter and anchor in this town who went to Carnegie Mellon to become an opera singer. I am not exaggerating that. An opera friggin' singer. Carnegie Mellon is $90,000 a year. You have $360,000 in loans, and you never sang one operetta. To my point, Tom, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I think it's a big problem. I don't know where we're going in the world with these tuitions, but they're so outrageous that it's not funny. And now you see the Ivy Leagues. Of course, the Ivy League schools pay for the tuitions for everybody under a certain income.
$200,000.
The rest of us are stuck. Yeah,
stuck. All right, I digress, but I knew you would get that because your daughter's an insane success, and it had nothing to do with a pool on the roof of the dorm.
My middle daughter, who's a medical doctor, we teased her the other day. She said she was going to Target, and I said, You remember when you were at Target cleaning the popcorn machines out, going to school, right?
See? And your other daughter, is she in the Trump administration or was? Great, amazing job. Huh?
Yeah, she was. She was the deputy chief of staff, and listen, she did all kinds of. She answered the phone in my law office for a couple of years.
Right on. Right on. And my kids are going to do the same. Look, we're not perfect parents, but at the end of the day, ain't no way my daughter's going to go to a school with a pool on the roof. Daddy, look at my tan. No. No. All right. Can you hang through the break, by the way?
Yes, sir.
Right,
of course.
I need something really. Before we go to break, tell folks about this law in Pennsylvania that they're going to be this anti-SLAPP law. Tell them what that is and how this relates to where you're in the middle of.
Well, simply put, Governor Shapiro signed into law last fall a bill that the legislature put in after a lot of pressure from a lot of people who had been involved in bad lawsuits. And so a lot of people had to incur a whole lot of legal expenses to defend against lawsuits they never should have been in. So Governor Shapiro signed into law this SLAPP. It's called Strategic Litigation Against Public Participation. So when somebody's going to build a mall or somebody's going to do something and you and your neighbors go out and you complain about it or you oppose it, somebody comes back and they file a big lawsuit against you. Why this law allows you to go after them to get your legal fees paid.
There's a fairness to it and also involves free speech as well.
Yeah, this SLAPP is particularly free speech, First Amendment, and that's the case that we're in down in Delaware County, right outside of Philadelphia. That involves it's a bunch of really interesting people. They're bloggers on the internet.
Yep.
One of the people who lost in this case is Dog the Bounty Hunter from TV, and so. My client Stephanie Trude is a wonderful person and has her own blog solving crimes and looking for missing children and that kind of thing. She got sued by these people, 10 of them, who tried to silence her, and she was brave enough to stand up to these people, and we used the brand new SLAPP suit. And this is the first decision of its kind in the state of Pennsylvania down in Delaware County.
And for those who are out there scratching their heads, why the hell would one of the most prominent Republican attorneys in the country be doing this? Because he does the right thing. Hang on, brother, can you?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll be right back. You got to hear this.
All the news you need for your day and the sports, music, and podcasts you love are all on the free Odyssey app. Download now.
Hey, it's Marty. So I'm looking for a car for my sister Barb. She's in Wheeling, and I want to get her a Bowser car, and I want to get her a Subaru. You know what Bowser did? They're amazing salespeople. Man, they came up with a list of cars. They came up with used cars. They came up with new prices. They offered her cars to drive to check out. They offered to bring her a car to Wheeling so she could drive it and see what she thought about that car. It's that kind of dealership. It's that kind of family. It's that kind of commitment. We now have, in my household, 5 Bowser cars. Let me think. Genesis, Subarus, Buick, Hyundai, all of them from the Bowser family of dealerships. Why? You just heard the story. Sales, service, the management, the way they treat you, just like you're one of their family. It's a very special place. Why else would I have 5 Bowser cars? They get it big time.
Experience, leadership, equity, and integrity represent how Sheriff Kevin Krause effectively serves Allegheny County. Paul Martino here, supporting the re-election of Allegheny County Sheriff Kevin Krause. Kevin's proven commitment to bring downtown services to local communities, his decades of law enforcement service, and his numerous community outreach programs are key reasons to re-elect him as sheriff.
I'm Sheriff Kevin Krause. I'd be honored to earn your vote on May 20th.
Paid for by Friends of Kevin Krause for Sheriff.
Springtime, right? Duh. So now's the time to take a look at some new windows. Universal Windows Direct is the place to go. Check this out. Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 free. No limit, by the way. Buy 4, get 4 free. So, pay no interest until 2030. Come on. No interest for the next 6 years. And they'll give an extra $500 off on your home improvement project. Universal Windows Direct. By the way, it's a great product. They have great technology, great service. Universal Windows Direct. Springtime, folks, got to do it. 412-545-6003. 412-545-6003. Or visit universalwindowsdirect.com. Schedule a free in-home visit today.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. I mean, mop drop. Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop. A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
Spring cleaning isn't just for clutter. Let Benjamin Franklin Plumbing take care of your appliances. From water heater replacement or repair to advanced water filtration installation, Benjamin Franklin Plumbing is here to provide a worry-free summer for you and your family. Visit BenjaminFranklinPlumbing.com to schedule. You can count on the punctual plumbers, where your comfort and safety come first. Book now. Visit BenjaminFranklinPlumbing.com.
2D Mechanical Systems, Pittsburgh's HVAC, plumbing, and electric leaders, is a family business that I truly admire. 2D culture is built on ethics, service, and making a difference in our community. 2D Mechanical Systems, they're the people you want working in your home.
CBS Eye on Veterans from ConnectingVets.com. Scientist Henry O'Connell and a colleague who pioneered speech-to-text technology joined forces to create the Canary Speech app. It can detect depression and anxiety from small samples of the user's voice, and it's their hope it can be used to help veterans.
So beneath the words are how speech is created. Canary analyzes everything but the words. We actually look at 2,548 different elements and 15 million every minute. And we correlate that with a range of different diseases, things like anxiety and depression, and PTSD is a model we're building right now.
CBS Eye on Veterans is presented by American Military University. Veterans and their families receive 10% off undergraduate and master's level programs at American Military University, where your service is honored with savings.
Everything you need, every time you listen. 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
I find this anti-SLAPP scenario actually fascinating from my standpoint. And from Tom King's standpoint, he was representing, well, these are bloggers, and they've had success on these crime shows. And I don't want to speak out of line here, Tom, and they said some things in the effort to find a missing kid, right? Right?
Yes. There's a young man, 15 years old, who's missing, and they've been assisting in the operation to try to find him, and somehow that's devolved into two camps. One attacking the other, yep, and saying that one of them's not doing enough or one of them's not doing the right thing. That's that kind of thing. It's terrible what's happened.
Well, then there were some scandalous things said. There were allegations made that someone involved was a pedophile, and so then the litigation comes, the defamation lawsuit comes. That's really kind of how this thing blew up, is it not, sir?
Yes, sir. That's how I got involved in it. When one side decided to go to court to try to bully the other side and started to file 300-page lawsuits with thousands of pages of exhibits to bankrupt the other side, and that's when I got involved.
I tell you why this intrigues me. This is a hammer on the hands of those trying to stymie free speech, is it not? This is a victory for those who have a talk format, who are trying to make a difference and are trying to tell the truth. Is it not, sir?
Yes. It's really amazing, Marty, because I find myself on the same side of this issue as the ACLU.
It's true.
So,
actually, I laughed about that when you sent it to me, brother, but go ahead, yeah.
Well, the really interesting part is the ACLU found itself on the same side as Donald Trump.
Whoa!
So, Trump got sued, and Trump brought this up in federal court out in Philadelphia, and the ACLU actually filed a brief, and it was such a good brief that I gave it to the judge in our case as well. So we found ourselves, Donald Trump, myself, and the ACLU all on the same side of this issue.
And at the end of the day, the victory is a big one for free speech everywhere, is it not, including blogs and internet speech?
It is, and this was the very first case under that new law.
Yep.
It's really important. I don't think it could have been a better case. The judge took it on. She did a miraculous job, wonderful job, and her opinion is something to behold. And I think in future cases that come down the road, people can look back on this case and they can use what the Judge Eckel wrote down in Delaware County. It's terrific work.
I'm trying to determine the prominent role that Dog the Bounty Hunter had. If folks aren't familiar, he had kind of a raunchy bounty hunting show that's been canceled and had kind of a scurrilous past, and some really sketchy kind of issues happened to him professionally and personally. How did he get in the middle of this?
Well, Dog got himself in the middle of this, and he appeared on true crime shows, and along with some of these other people. They all have handles, so it's Dog the Bounty Hunter and some guy named Nick the Hat and other people.
Nick the Hat.
And Nick the Hat, yeah. So Nick the Hat is notorious down in Delaware County. There was episodes involving him down there before, but they got involved trying to promote themselves as they were going to solve this, and other people couldn't,
Which, by the way, he did for decades, and most of it was BS. But at the end of the day, the beauty of this lawsuit, and I wanted to talk to Tom, is that he is representing folks who want the ability to tell the truth and to be able to speak freely without being slammed with frivolous lawsuits just to shut them down. That's, at the end of the day, the message here, is it not, sir?
Yes, it is. In a nutshell, it's all about free speech.
And you did end up on the same side as the ACLU. Does that make you feel dirty, sir?
No, Marty, you know me well enough to know that I like to win, so I ended up on the winning side along with the ACLU in this one. So
I love you, man. You're one of my all-time favorite people. Thanks, brother.
Thank you very much, Marty. Thanks for having me. Bye.
What interested me about the lawsuit is the very reason that we sit here, is the ability to tell the truth. And what happens is, and what he nailed there, and what the lawsuit nailed there is, you can tell the truth and not worry about getting sued, and they'll come back and bite you. Get it? The reference to Dog the Bounty Hunter, if you try to sue someone in a frivolous manner. The irony is that this is Shapiro's baby. He's the one who pushed this, the Democrat. The ACLU loved this, which is why they pushed it. And Patrick has this graphic up on our stream, this anti-SLAPP law. Do you mind, Patrick, reading that?
What you're seeing on the stream right now, it's a description of what a SLAPP lawsuit is. So strategic lawsuits against public participation. Types of lawsuits to silence critics or opponents by burdening them with the cost of defending a meritless claim.
It's good stuff. And this is a big victory. With Republican attorneys and Trump on the same side as Josh Shapiro and the ACLU. How about that? Pretty cool, eh?
Pittsburgh is home to a lot of great people and great local businesses, and we're proud to be one of them.
Hi, John, Maggie, and Justin Schmutzer here from Metropolitan Window Company, Pittsburgh's locally owned and family-operated window company for over 45 years.
If you're looking to replace your old, worn-out windows with new, energy-efficient ones, then consider buying from a hometown business like us.
We're passionate about enhancing the beauty and efficiency of Pittsburgh homes using the top-of-the-line replacement windows, like our exclusive Infinity from Marvin 100% fiberglass windows.
They're the strongest, longest-lasting, best insulating windows you can buy. They're way better than vinyl.
And right now, you can save 30% plus get no interest financing on every window and door product we offer.
Experience the difference of buying from a locally owned, family-operated company.
Stop by one of our showrooms or visit us on the web at metropolitanwindows.com.
Or give us a call at 412-655-8411. PA 1565.
Honey, I found the perfect place for my parents and us.
Where?
St. Barnabas. For us, the Woodlands Carriage Home Community. And for my parents, condominium-style living at the Village. My folks will love the Village. There's an indoor mall with shops, restaurants, and more. And we can relax, knowing they're safe and secure.
That's what I plan to do when we move to St. Barnabas. Relax.
Call 724-444-5568 or visit stbarnabascommunities.com.
Spring is here, and it's the perfect time to drive into adventure with a new Subaru from Bowser Subaru. The 2025 Subaru Crosstrek is versatile and ready to take you anywhere this spring. And with 3.9% for 48 months, it's a deal you don't want to miss. Don't wait. Visit Bowser Subaru today and take advantage of this limited time offer. With credit approval and financing through SMFL. See Bowser Subaru for complete details. Offer ends April 30th. So go ahead, take a test drive, and get to Bowser Subaru in Pleasant Hills. Now that's the power of Bowser. BowserSubaru.com. Bowser Subaru, Route 51 South, on top of the hill.
From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studio.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Partly sunny and 61 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 12:30. I'm Paul Alexander. Allegheny County Controller and mayoral candidate Corey O'Connor is calling for an investigation into Mayor Ed Gainey's re-election campaign. O'Connor tells the Big K Morning Show that the Gainey campaign is breaking the law by coordinating with an outside PAC organization.
PAC are working together. Him and working families who are on his actual payroll. If you wanted to get, and there's emails about this, if you wanted to coordinate a meeting with the mayor, you had to go through working families. That's against the law.
O'Connor claims this is a violation of election laws.
You know, somebody needs to investigate that. That is coercion with your outside C4 and independent expenditure. You are not allowed to do that by election law, and yet the mayor's been doing it the entire time.
We reached out to the Gainey campaign for a response. Marco Adesano, counselor for Gainey for mayor, released the following statement, and I quote, "Like all Democratic campaigns, the Gainey campaign receives support from many unions, community organizations, and all political allies. All of that support is done in the full compliance with local, state, and federal campaign finance laws. This is how every Democratic campaign from governor to president runs its operation," end quote. Ross Township commissioners voted last night to start a cull of the deer population. News Radio KDK's Paul Rasmussen has more.
Ross commissioners banned the intentional feeding of deer in 2018. Archery hunts started in 2020, but the township's deer population continues to grow. A contractor is picking up 10 to 15 deer killed on township roads monthly. Ross Commission President Dan DeMarco outlined the next step in population control on the Big K Morning Show.
Sharpshooters. It's done at night, overnight, and they bait the deer with feed.
DeMarco said the cull would take place in select locations.
The Game Commission will be involved. They'll be assisting and advising so that we can get that program up and running.
DeMarco hopes the cull will start next year. Paul Rasmussen, News Radio KDKA.
On Wall Street, the Dow is up 1,061 points, and Nasdaq up 523. The S&P 500 is up 146 points. KDK Radio News Time is 12:32. Our next update at 1 o'clock. I'm Paul Alexander, the voice of Pittsburgh News Radio, KDKA.
Broadway's must-see musical takes you into the heart of the remarkable true story of 7,000 stranded passengers and a small town in Newfoundland that welcomed them. Come From Away. Hailed as the best of the year across North America, Come From Away is a powerful celebration of humanity. Go see this gem of a musical, Come From Away.
May 2nd through 4th at the Benedum Center, trustarts.org, PNC Broadway in Pittsburgh.
Get Marty's brought to you by Perry Calder. When it matters most, contact Perry Calder Law.
With more than 15,000 cardiac procedures performed in the last 5 years, UPMC is a leader in the field of cardiac care.
We've been first to use advanced technologies for heart valve disease, for aortic disease, for coronary disease. The work that the heart team here at UPMC does is truly life-changing. We want to be the pioneers and continue to innovate in the world of heart disease.
Your heart care matters. Visit upmc.com/heart to learn more.
Spring is here, and it's the perfect time to drive into adventure with a new Subaru from Bowser Subaru. The 2025 Subaru Forester and its symmetrical all-wheel drive provides the confidence to explore wherever the season takes you, from muddy trails to long stretches of highway. And with 3.9% APR for 48 months, you don't want to miss it. Don't wait. Visit Bowser Subaru today and take advantage of this limited time offer with credit approval and financing through SMFL. See Bowser Subaru for complete details. Offer ends April 30th. Take a test drive at Bowser Subaru in Pleasant Hills. BowserSubaru.com. Bowser Subaru, Route 51 South, on top of the hill.
When you buy appliances, they break. It's just the truth. Check this out. Voss TV and Appliance, they have their own crews, their own folks, techs that fix this stuff, and they're magnificent. Here's the other thing about Voss. Our dishwasher broke. They got a new dishwasher in our house within a week and a half. In this marketplace, in crazy weather, during crazy times. Voss TV and Appliance, 412-650-VOSS, 412-650-VOSS.
Spring is the perfect time to refresh your home with beautiful custom window treatments from Lachina Drapery and Blind Factory. Lachina offers custom draperies, blinds, shades, and shutters. For a limited time, Lachina and Graber Blinds are offering a free top-down, bottom-up upgrade that gives you more light control and privacy at no additional cost. Get this special offer now. Schedule your free shop-at-home consultation today. Call Lachina at 412-665-4900 or visit lachinadrapery.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Chuck McDowell here. If you were misled or lied to in any way when buying a timeshare, right now is your wake-up call. With the tariffs, economy tanking, and inflation rising, you might need to ask yourself this question. Is owning a timeshare a good idea? With all the economic uncertainty, you need to protect yourself and your family. Don't look back and say, if I'd have only got rid of that stupid timeshare they lied to me about. It's time to stop thinking about canceling your timeshare and finally get rid of it and be smart with your money. At Wesley Financial Group, we've saved 48,000 families an average of $65,000 in lifetime payments. Give us a call. I guarantee if we take you as a client, we will cancel your timeshare permanently or you'll pay nothing.
Call Wesley for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-854-4040. 800-854-4040. 800-854-4040.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Intervals of clouds and sunshine for the rest of today, but breezy at times. High 69. Partly cloudy tonight, though 47. More sun than clouds tomorrow and becoming warmer in the afternoon. High 77. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Who doesn't love Earth Day? But it brings out fleas, ticks, spiders, bedbugs, ants, roaches, spotted lanternflies, stink bugs, millipedes. You know the deal. Well, you need to know about Harmony Organic Insect Control. Available at EV True Value or online. Harmony is safe around children and pets. It's long-lasting, and right now, today only, take 20% off. Go to harmonyoic.com, harmonyoic.com, or visit EV True Value in Bethel Park.
Soldiers and Sailors Memorial Hall and Museum recognizes Pennsylvania's combat veterans who have received medals for gallantry. With this Hall of Valor moment, here's the curator of Soldiers and Sailors Memorial Hall and Museum, Michael Krause.
Sergeant Hugh Abercrombie of Allegheny County was awarded the Distinguished Service Cross in World War I in France on July 15, 1918. During the night, Sergeant Abercrombie, in charge of the ammunition detail, realized that all the supply of the guns had been used up in a barrage that prevented the enemy from crossing the Marne River. He immediately organized his detail and carried the supply by hand to his battery about a kilometer away. While so engaged, he was severely wounded, but refused to be evacuated, directing carriers to the various kinds of ammunition whose location he alone knew. His utter disregard for his condition was an inspiration to his comrades.
To nominate a qualifying hero for the Hall of Valor, visit online at soldiersandsailorshall.org.
My boy's back. Jim Toten, Toten's Diner. Great breakfast, great lunch, big portions, great pricing, great staff. Jim and Joanne are running an amazing joint. Check it out. Toten's Diner, Route 19, Perry Highway.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
All right, back again today. It's a Tuesday. So much to get into. A little more talk about the Pope, but there's so many other things, too, and we will hit it all. Colin Dunlap with you at 2 to 6 today, as always, right here, KDK.
So I grabbed Andy Amrine this morning because he's one of my favorite people, but I have to ask him a question before I get to the root of why we're talking, why we have him today. Andy, are you there?
Absolutely. Good afternoon, Marty.
Okay, so I heard your boy Larry, and he is your boy.
Okay.
His two favorite people are Pratt, which he's like his stepson, and Larry. And yesterday, Larry called, and I want to know if you know what this means. He called someone a Rosarian to the stars. What the hell's a Rosarian, brother?
Well, to me, a Rosarian is someone who takes care of roses.
See?
I have to assume that's what he was referring to.
He was. Rosarian. Come on. All right, so I'm at my sister's place.
Very cute.
I'm at my sister's place in Wheeling on Sunday, and we're talking about, I'm not exaggerating, so I have this deck. It gets real funky every year. It gets this green crap on it. And I always used a gas-powered, what the hell are they called, high-pressure washer.
Right.
And they're crap. And I'll tell you why. They're the same reason they're crap as my gas-powered snowblower was, because they shut down, they gunk up, and they break down. Do they not, sir? They're kind of a pain in that regard,
do.
or are they not?
They do. The reason they do, Marty, is because they're not used every week. So if you're using gas equipment every week, it doesn't give the carburetors time to gum up from the poor fuel that we use in them. And your bad fuel is any fuel with ethanol. And 95% of all the fuel now has ethanol in it, which gums up carburetors and actually melts them.
What?
So it actually melts the plastic, because carburetors are plastic now instead of metal. So it not only gums them, but it actually starts dissolving the plastic. So pressure washers, snow blowers, chainsaws, trimmers, items that aren't used constantly. I love the battery-powered or electric ones.
Hold on,
and
let me stop you, because I didn't prepare him for this, but I'm curious about this, because right now, how many of these machines that are gas-powered that you just described do you have at your joint to be fixed? How many?
Well, we've already done about 400 in the last month and a half.
What?
And I'd say my mechanic we probably have about 50 in the shop today. And we can service about anywhere from 8 to 10 a day, depending on if it's normal tune-ups or if it's something a little more major.
So when it's gunked up,
it's big business.
Yeah. You have to take the whole damn thing apart?
Correct.
Wow.
And clean the carburetors. Wow. And we have a special machine that cleans the carburetors. Wow. And then we could reuse it. But if it's too far gone, we replace the carburetors, because there are a lot of the carburetors, I'd say 50% of them can't even be cleaned. They have to be disposed of and a new one put on.
It's unbelievable. So, fast forward to the gunk that's on my deck every year, and I always have to pressure wash it. I always thought, and I was asking my brother about this, that they don't have the velocity, or what the hell it's called, to get the gunk off. Is that true? Do they have the pressure, the electrics? Huh?
The electric ones do.
Do they?
And actually, when you're working on a wooden deck, it is a lot safer to use an electric than a gas one. What people do with a gas pressure washer on wooden deck, everyone feels the same. Let's put the nozzle really close to the wood. So it can clean it faster, and then they splinter the wood and they splinter the deck.
And that Trex stuff. You jack up that Trex stuff, too. Yeah.
Trex is a little safer for a high-pressure washer, but your gas pressure washers, I allow them for concrete and brick and block. You know, I do not want to see anyone using a gas pressure washer on a wooden deck unless they're smart enough to know they cannot run it over 2,000 PSI, which is what your electric ones are. But your gas ones are 3,000 and 4,000 PSI. And then there's different laser tips you could put in the gas ones. And people, I have seen decks damaged like you won't believe by gas pressure washers.
Wow.
So I would never let you have a gas pressure washer for your deck.
Because I'm an idiot.
Well, because then I know you're getting a contractor to replace your board.
You know what? I love him because he's right on about this stuff. And okay, and the reason why I'm asking is, but this is very common. You got to do this to so many decks every year because all the crap falls on them from trees, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And now, do you want a little trick to prevent your moss from coming back?
I do, sir.
Okay, there's a product called Wet and Forget. And what you can do is just have a bottle of it nearby, and I'm going to say once every 3 weeks, just mist the deck down with Wet and Forget. Then you walk away, and it prevents the moss from ever building up.
Seriously?
Yep.
All right, hold on. My boy Billy, the Shell Answer Man himself, said, or just buy non-ethanol fuel. Does that help? The gunk?
It does.
It does?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You can buy it in your hardware store, or you can buy it at some gas stations. Not all the gas stations around me. I have 2 gas stations that sell non-ethanol fuel. So when we are buying gas for our repair shops, we fill up like 6 5-gallon buckets every other week. We are using ethanol-free fuel. So when we repair a machine, we put the proper fuel in it. But I'm going to say 95% of the people don't think,
I think he's right,
to actually buy ethanol-free for their small engines.
So my man Brian, who's a guru at a Fix-It guy, he's amazing. He said, you're so right. He works on small engines. The biggest problem, the chambers inside of pinholes where the gas passes through and changes to a vapor to ignite those pinholes, varnish and clogs up because of the gas additives in the fuel, right?
Yep, right on. Absolutely.
Wow. Okay, so you rent the electrics or you sell them or both?
We do. Both. We rent them and we rent them and sell them, both gas and electric.
What does an electric high-pressure washer cost?
Depending on the model, you're about $150 for the most common ones. Where you go to a gas one, you're about $500 for the most common ones. So a lot less expensive, and I'm going to say they'll do 90% of what a gas one does.
Patrick, jump in here with the text you just sent me. Tell Andy that. That's actually fascinating.
Yeah, so you still have to be careful with the electrics. I was a moron the first time I took one out, and I blew the stain off my deck. And had to redo it.
Absolutely. Absolutely, you can. You never want to have the nozzle closer than 18 inches to the deck itself. If you go under 18 inches, and tips on pressure washers, you can get a certain degree, meaning you can go anywhere from a 5-degree, 10-degree, 20-degree spread. And people will put that 5-degree spread, which is like a laser pointer, and, too high of a pressure in that laser tip, you'd burn a hole right through the wood, let alone strip the stain off.
Yeah, those turbo nozzles, you got to watch it.
Absolutely.
Don't let your son get them near your car. All right, Andy Amrine, the guru, my man, his 2 favorite people on earth, Rob Pratt and Larry, because Larry's a Rosarian.
He is. He's amazing.
All right, my man. Thanks, brother.
All right, guys. Thanks.
I had to grab him this morning because a lot of people have to do this to their deck, and I hate it because you get that green crap all over you, but whatever. Everybody wants to know how to get it done.
Did you know that now you can listen to all your favorite stations, including this one, shows, and even podcasts, all on the Odyssey app? Download it now.
to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
I'm Keith. Being a letter carrier and walking 20,000 steps, which equals up to about 10 miles a day, it's tough. I had back problems. That was scary. I've been delivering letters to the Good Feet store for over 6 years. The people at the Good Feet store really educated me and finally convinced me to try their arch supports. And lo and behold, I have no more back problems. Where I would be without them, I have no clue.
I bet you've heard of Good Feet, too, and might also be thinking there's no way something as simple as Good Feet could help you. Well, the Good Feet store has helped thousands of people just like Keith live a better life. Visit us in Robinson Town Center, in Cranberry Township, in Morgantown at Suncrest Town Center, or book your free fitting at goodfeet.com.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Come to the Good Feet store today and take a free test walk. You have nothing to lose except your pain.
So, I'm getting older, duh. And we're thinking about retirement, and we're thinking about estate planning. I'm serious about this stuff because once you get in your 60s, you got to think about what happens next. What do I do with this savings? How do I protect this asset? What happens if I get sick? What happens if I need long-term care? What do we do with our house? What do you do with trust for kids? All this stuff, man. Sat in Julian Gray's office for an hour this week with my wife, Christine, and it was like manna from heaven because my man knows what he's talking about. Julian Gray is the guru, the best. Set up a plan, set up a timeline, set up a strategy that made us feel good. Julian Gray, the best, folks. GrayElderLaw.com. 412-458-6000. 412-458-6000.
Steel walk-behind, zero-turn, and stand-on mowers are built to get the job done. Shop online or at your local Steel dealer. Steel, let's go mow.
Hey, folks, it's Marty. This is something very special to me. I've been talking about Gunny's Ridge, a special place for veterans and first responders. You can honor a loved veteran or first responder with a fruit tree in the Honor Orchard of Gunny's Ridge. It's $122. The number 22 represents the number of veterans who take their lives each day. Gunny's Ridge is a special place. You must check it out at gunnysridge.org. This Honor Orchard is a beautiful thing. gunnysridge.org.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. The International Monetary Fund is slashing its forecast for global economic growth this year, warning it could get even worse because of the Trump tariffs, which could cause a global trade war. Now, despite that dire prediction, Wall Street is seeing huge gains today, just one day after a massive sell-off when the president threatened to fire Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell. But today, investors are diving right back into the markets. And right now, that's got the Dow up over 1,000 points, nearly 3% higher. The NASDAQ is up over 500 points, 3.25% higher, and the S&P's up almost 3%. As investors seek safer places to put their money, gold prices rose to a fresh all-time highs today, topping $3,500 an ounce for a short time. And U.S. home prices in March rose just 0.2% from a month prior, the slowest monthly increase in 2.5 years. Redfin says price growth is slowing because home buying demand is not keeping up with the rising number of homes on the market. Tom Busby, Bloomberg Radio.
Everything you need, every time you listen. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
The electric stuff is fascinating to me. It's the gas. I had a gas-powered snowblower for, 15 years, almost 20, and used it. And as Andy said, I'm kind of lazy about maintaining. He didn't call me lazy, but about maintaining them, putting the right stuff in it. And as Billy said, I used the fuel with the ethanol. I swear to God, I had it fixed a dozen times. And I dropped F-bombs in that thing because it shuts down. My brother was telling me his shutdown. My brother-in-law was telling me his shutdown, and then I was shocked to hear. And I know this is generally not what we cover in the show, but it is kind of relevant because so many of us have these issues every spring, and it is time to do that kind of stuff. And it is expensive. I'll tell you what changed my mind on the gas-powered. There was this wonderful, wonderful guy in Bridgeville that fixed these. He was wonderful. And if you're familiar with Bridgeville, his joint had, I'm not exaggerating, outside it had at least 200 mowers and snowblowers just sitting there. And I love this guy, and I bring my kids in there because he was really cool. He was an old timer. He was old school, and he knew what he was doing, man. And every spring I would bring it in there, and he'd fix it like 15 times. And he did a great job, and it was always cheap. And I brought my kids in there because he had cats in there. And so this old timer who I loved, and was a bit quirky like I am, he's in there fixing this stuff by himself with cats all over the place. And I loved them. And so it kind of became a Griffin tradition, drop off the snowblower, and then he would fix it. He died, actually. I loved this guy. He was the coolest guy. And he died. It broke my heart. Not regarding my snowblower, but it kind of, honestly, it ended a tradition in our family. There are these things that happen that I think are poignant as a father that become tradition. And one of them was the snowblower. And I brought my son and my daughters outside, and I hit them with the snow because they loved it. And then I would we would all load the snowblower up and go down to this repair joint in Bridgeville. And they loved the cats and came kind of, but he fixed it every year. But it is a lousy piece of crap because they clog all the time. I didn't know that you could get the regular fuel like Billy knew, because he's smarter than me and he does a lot more stuff with his hands than I do. And I did not know that the electrics had the power until I got an electric snowblower, battery operated from True Value, and it works like a charm. Although I got to tell you this, I bought it 2 years ago. I used it once 2 years ago. I used it 3 times this year. That's it, because we don't have snow here anymore. We don't. And so that further exacerbates the issue with these machines clogging up. I didn't know that the electric and or battery-powered high-pressure washers would be enough to clean the gunk off of the deck until my brother Chris said they would be. And they are. Life goes on, but I do miss the guy who would fix our snowblower. And my kids ask me about him all the time. And the truth of the matter is that it's tough. It's one of the things in life that is hardest to manage. My sweet daughter, Chloe, babysits the kids next door. They're wonderful boys. They're really young, I think 4 and 5 years old. And they asked her yesterday, why do people die? And it's hard to know, but they do. And I sit there with my wife sometimes discussing the tragedy that befalls you as you get older because everyone you love dies. I disagree with that. I tell my wife we have to find the joy of hitting our kids with a snowblower. The joy of ice cream, right? We went to Tampa last week. We had gelato twice a day for 7 days. Now it's part of the fabric of our life that brings joy. We went and saw my sister Barb, who's battling pancreatic cancer, as you all know by now, and she's kicking its ass, so you know. Her cancer scores keep dropping. I'm not suggesting she's going to live forever, but she's going to live longer than they told her she would live. You know why? Because she's my friggin' unicorn. And I tell my wife, we have to seek out the joy, not the sorrow, because if you seek out the sorrow, you'll always be sad, and you can't do it. You can't do it. All right? All right. After this break, we're going to go deep on what is described as dark money. Both campaigns. It's actually fascinating. Corey O'Connor accused Gainey's people of breaking the law this morning, finance law. My boy, Andy Sheehan, the best reporter in this town, is going to talk about some of that dark money after the break. You got to hear this stuff. It's important.
The KDKA mobile news fleet is driven by Jim Shorkey Kia, North Huntington and Wexford. JimShorkeyKia.com.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
Hey, folks, it's Marty. Springtime, time to upgrade your windows, and I've got the plan for you. The best window company going, Universal Windows Direct. Right now, no interest until 2030, and a $500 bonus off your entire home improvement project. There's never been a better time. Check this out. Universal Windows Direct, 412-545-6003. 412-545-6003. Universal Windows Direct.
Who doesn't love Earth Day? But it brings out fleas, ticks, spiders, bedbugs, ants, roaches, spotted lanternflies, stink bugs, millipedes. You know the deal. Well, you need to know about Harmony Organic Insect Control. Available at EV True Value or online. Harmony is safe around children and pets. It's long-lasting, and right now, today only, take 20% off. Go to harmonyoic.com, harmonyoic.com, or visit EV True Value in Bethel Park.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studio.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Partly sunny and 62 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 1 o'clock. I'm Paul Alexander. News brought to you by P.J. Fitzpatrick. 45 years of experience and thousands of five-star reviews. TrustPJ.com. Allegheny County Controller and mayoral candidate Corey O'Connor is calling for an investigation into Mayor Ed Gainey's re-election campaign. O'Connor tells the Big K Morning Show that the Gainey campaign is breaking the law by coordinating with outside PAC organizations.
He and his outside PAC are working together. Him and Working Families, who are on his actual payroll. If you wanted to get, and there's emails about this, if you wanted to coordinate a meeting with the mayor, you had to go through Working Families. That's against the law.
O'Connor claims this violation is against election laws.
You know, somebody needs to investigate that. That is coercion with your outside C4 and independent expenditure. You are not allowed to do that by election law, and yet the mayor's been doing it the entire time.
We reached out to the Gainey campaign for a response. Marco Adesano, counsel for Gainey for mayor, released the following statement, quote, like all Democratic campaigns, the Gainey campaign receives support from many unions, community organizations, and political allies. All of that support is done in full compliance with local, state, and federal campaign finance laws. This is how every Democratic campaign, from governor to president, runs its operations, end quote. There's a new development in the hotly debated topic of property reassessment. State Senator Wayne Fontana is proposing legislation to require all counties in Pennsylvania to reassess properties at least every 5 years. On the Big K Morning Show, Fontana said he's not naive and realizes local officials won't support the idea, but he thinks reform is overdue.
But the fact of the matter is, we're the only state that hasn't done one and don't do it on a scheduled basis.
In the meantime, Allegheny County Council member Bob Macy plans to introduce a bill today to give the Board of Property Assessment Appeals and Review more independence to make rulings. Just in time for Earth Day, Allegheny Valley Hospital is now deploying sustainable pill bottle packaging instead of the plastic bottles. News Radio KDK's Tamara Rush has the details.
The pilot program is part of a partnership with local startup Partial Health. CEO and co-founder Melinda Suen Lee says part of their goal is to reduce the plastic pollution that is generated in healthcare, but also to prepare pharmacies for the next phase of pharmacy care.
Our pill bottles are not only more sustainable, but they're also much more stronger than plastic pill bottles, and they also are a little bit more cooling than plastic pill bottles, which makes it a wonderful fit for modern pharmacies.
AHN plans a wider rollout to other hospitals through the pilot program. Tamara Rush, News Radio KDKA.
One day, one thing, as Odyssey stations across the United States, including News Radio KDKA, are working to make a difference in their communities. News Radio, KDKA's David Bolorado reports.
In Pittsburgh, volunteers from KDKA News Radio, 93.7 The Fan, 100.7 Star, Y108, and 107.3 WAMO are cleaning up parts of Manchester, along with the Manchester Citizens Corporation. Resident Steve Hansen says it's also a good way to shine a spotlight on the community.
And we want you to see just how incredible Manchester is. I know that Manchester, to a lot of people in Pittsburgh, has a reputation. They probably don't even know necessarily where it is, even though they might drive through it every day, or if they go to a stadium event or the casino, they're in our neighborhood, but they don't know it.
Odyssey crews are cleaning up trash and also working on a flower bed and new boxes that were donated by the Eastern Atlantic Regional Alliance of Carpenters. In Manchester, David Bolorado, News Radio, KDKA.
On Wall Street, the Dow is up 1,000 points, the Nasdaq up 490, the S&P 500 is up 137 points. KDK Sports, Power Tobin a series in L.A. tonight against the Angels. First pitch, 9:38. KDK Radio News Time, 103. Right now, it is partly sunny and 62 degrees in Pittsburgh. Your AccuWeather forecast is next.
Hello, this is Lester Botkin with Botkin Family Wealth Management, where I work with my dad, Les, and sister, Sarah. I was out of town when I got the shocking news that a car accidentally crashed through our building into Dad's office, destroying his desk. Thankfully, Dad wasn't there and the driver wasn't hurt. When I reached Dad by phone, he was upbeat, saying, "Nobody's hurt and repairs start next week already." Dad went outside and changed our sign to read, "Now with drive-through service." He joked, "Hey, we could make a commercial about people being so excited to invest with us they're driving into our building." I think what I love most about my dad is his ability to stay calm and supportive. Years ago, I decided to leave college to join the Marine Corps. My family was a bit alarmed, except for Dad, who told me he was proud of me and that I would do great things. His positive attitude can be felt by all of us here at Botkin Family Wealth, and it's an asset in our work. We help our clients avoid making emotional investment decisions. Is there a hole in your financial plan like there's a hole in our building? We can help you fix it. Visit us at botkinfamilywealth.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC.
Every time I go into the offices of Physical, that's FYZICAL in Monroeville, where I get physical therapy, to help my balance, I see a room full of patients waiting that heard how much it's helped me on this talk show. And it's so rewarding. FYZICAL, 412-457-8200, right behind the Monroeville Mall. Look, I had chemo and radiation, jacked up my balance. It doesn't anymore. Physical, FYZICAL, it works.
Who doesn't love Earth Day? But it brings out fleas, ticks, spiders, bedbugs, ants, roaches, spotted lanternflies, stink bugs, millipedes. You know the deal. Well, you need to know about Harmony Organic Insect Control. Available at EB True Value or online. Harmony is safe around children and pets. It's long-lasting, and right now, today only, take 20% off. Go to harmonyoic.com, harmonyoic.com, or visit EV True Value in Bethel Park.
Shenyun is coming to the Benedum Center, April 26th and 27th. How many times have you thought about attending but missed out? Be sure to catch it this time. Embark on a journey through 5,000 years of beauty, wisdom, and drama in this powerful production. Find out why audiences worldwide call it a touch of heaven and applaud its incredible hope and spirit. The Benedum Center, April 26th and 27th. Tickets at SHENYUN.com.
I'm with Rocco Florio from Air Pro Heating and Cooling with great news.
Air Pro and Bryant are now offering the $1,000 rebate program. Buy a furnace, take $1,000 off. Add a central air conditioning system, take another $1,000 off. That's $2,000 savings.
Plus up to 60 months interest-free financing or low 3.9% interest, subject to credit approval. So call someone you know. Call Air Pro Heating and Cooling at 800-749-0642. Bryant, whatever it takes.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Intervals of clouds and sunshine the rest of today, weighted more towards sunshine later this afternoon, the high 69, then partly cloudy tonight, low 47. More sun than clouds tomorrow and becoming warmer, high 77. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It used to be the sole function for a kitchen was food preparation. We cooked in the kitchen and we dined in the dining room. But times have changed. And although today the kitchen is still where we cook, it's also where we share meals, have an important family conversation, and even help the kids with their homework.
That's right.
Today's kitchens are multi-use areas and should be designed accordingly. And that's where we come in. Petite Kitchen and Bath will make your new kitchen a warm and inviting place for family and guests alike. We'll make it supremely functional and beautiful.
You know, they say the heart of any home is the family kitchen. Make your kitchen great. Discover why generations of satisfied customers have chosen Petite Kitchen and Bath Design Center.
Visit our showroom on Route 50 or call us at 412-279-2222. Haven't you waited long enough?
PA 625.
I'm attorney Ed Shenderovich. Have you been injured at work? You may have more than one claim. To find out if you do, call us at 888-98-TWINS for a free consultation. At Shenderovich and Fishman, we've got your back, not your wallet.
Hi, Paul Alexander here with an opportunity for you to lose 40 by the 4th. Yes, pounds. I dropped my 35 pounds with Awaken 180 in just 6.5 weeks. There's no reason you can't set your goal to 40 or more by the 4th. Set the goal and reach it at awaken180weightloss.com.
Where Pittsburgh comes to talk. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Come on, man. Gotta play these clips. Put Sheehan on hold. Thank you, my man. There we go. I want to play a couple clips from Corey O'Connor. This is on the air this morning with our boy Larry. Listen to
He and
this.
his outside pack are working together. Him and working families who are on his actual payroll. If you wanted to get, and there's emails about this, if you wanted to coordinate a meeting with the mayor, you had to go through working families. That's against the law. You know, somebody needs to investigate that. That is coercion with your outside C4 and independent expenditure. You are not allowed to do that by election law, and yet the mayor's been doing it the entire time.
So that started this brouhaha that Gainey is breaking the law. Now his people reacted immediately saying, no way, we're doing what people do. We're following the letter of the law. This is how campaigns are run. What? All right. This information came from the best reporter I know. That's Andy Sheehan. Good morning. How are you, buddy?
Hey, Marty. How's it going?
So you have been kind of drilling down on not just this issue, but in particular what's called dark money in this campaign. Explain to us what that is and why that's relevant here, sir.
Well, okay, so these are the nuances of the campaign laws, you know. To give a contribution to a candidate, there are strict limits on it, right? You know, a private individual can donate, you know, $3,000. A political PAC can do $5,000, but that's it, right? But there's other things called independent expenditures, which are unlimited, right? These PACs, these sort of shadowy PACs, can spend, and they are spending, hundreds of thousands of dollars on this campaign, and they're producing, you know, negative ads, attack ads on both sides, and, you know, these mailers that go out you know, that we're being inundated with. But it's called independent expenditures, so the campaign rule is that you can't coordinate with the actual campaign of the candidate, right? But, you know, it's unlimited. So this is dark money. People don't know who's behind all that money, and they are, you know, basically fueling these campaigns on both sides, and it's getting nastier and nastier, and that's what this money does.
It's actually fascinating that you should say this, because it came up this morning with one of the developers from Walnut Capital, who said, all this funding about racism, anti-Semitism, all this stuff is coming from outside groups, and it's firing up people with this hate speak, and it's coming from outside funded ads. Is that accurate?
Well, that's right. So, on the O'Connor side, and both campaigns will say, look, we have nothing to do with this because of these laws. But on O'Connor's side, there's a PAC that's called Common Sense Action, or Common Sense Change Action. Now, this is funded mostly by trade unions. So, the steam fitters give $25K, sure. All the Boilermakers, and so they're doing these ads. They were responsible for the mailer that came up, yesterday in this press conference that, these activists are saying is racist. Okay. On the other side, there's a PAC called Working Families, PA, and they are funded. They are a national PAC that has a Philadelphia chapter, and their whole mission is to elect progressive candidates. So they haven't filed anything yet, so we don't know specifically who is funding them. But in the past, some of the progressive groups in Pittsburgh have donated to that. And, so they are making these ads that are saying, O'Connor's taking MAGA money and dirty developers and this kind of stuff. So, they have spent, or their last filing showed $64K, but apparently they've gotten a lot more money since then. And on the other side, this Common Sense PAC, they have $264,000 showing, and indications are that they were getting more money too. So we're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars that's going to go, feeding these ads, and with 4 weeks to go, they're going to get nastier and nastier.
Andy Sheehan with KDKA TV. Corey said on the air this morning, I'm guessing you heard it, that this Working Families in the relationship with Gainey, that he has several folks from that group that are working on his staff, that's illegal. Who would even investigate something like that, even if it's remotely true, sir?
Well, I did that story last week, and so there's supposed to be a firewall between, the PAC and the people that are, working for. What's going on with Working Families is that they are, producing these ads on one side, but they have like 3 of their, operatives that are working full time for the Gainey campaign. And, it's complicated, but, technically you could say this is a violation of the law. But there is no, as Al Gore once said, no controlling legal authority. I mean, nobody's overseeing these elections, and this is why you could drive a truck through all this campaign financing laws. Basically, unnamed people can give, like, unlimited money, hundreds of thousands of dollars, to make all these claims on TV and in these mailers, and nobody knows who they are. So you tell me.
Hey, you're the best at it, and you've been at this a while, brother. Is it unusual to see all this outside money coming into a mayor's race in little old Pittsburgh?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's so we're looking right now. When the dust settles, we're going to be looking at more than probably $2 million spent on this for basically what amounts to a couple of 10,000 voters.
And
right?
why here and why now, brother?
Well, it's there's a lot of interest in this this money coming nationally. I mean, this is the first black mayor, and he's a progressive mayor.
Great point.
And this political climate, there's big interest from the progressive wing of the Democratic Party nationwide in this election.
Andy Sheehan, it's great work, brother, as always. Appreciate you, my man.
Okay, bro. Take care.
Dark money. It's fascinating. By the way, both sides say they're doing nothing wrong. And Gainey's folks sent me a text adamant about this ridiculous allegation made by Corey. Their words, not mine, that they're breaking some sort of campaign law. They're absolutely flabbergasted that would be said because they say it's a flat-out lie.
All the news you need for your day and the sports, music, and podcasts you love are all on the free Odyssey app. Download now.
Folks, my friends at Coit are saying it's spring. Yes, it is. Let's celebrate Easter with huge savings. 35% off all Coit cleaning services, carpets, rugs, drapes, upholstery. Love it. Coit did an amazing job in my house. Amazing. It'll do the same for you. Call Coit today. Save 35%. 1-800-FOR-COIT. 1-800-FOR-COIT. Save 35% right now. They're the best residential and commercial cleaning service out there. They also are hiring. Join Coit's team.
EnduranceWarranty.com. They say all good things come to those who wait, but not for those who wait for that next auto breakdown that could cost you thousands of dollars. I'm Danica Patrick. In the past 5 years, auto repair costs have gone up over 36%. And if your manufacturer's warranty is expired, you'll have to cover it all. With an Endurance Auto Protection Plan, no matter what the mileage, if your car is under 20 years old, Endurance can get you covered on the engine, electrical system, transmission, drivetrain, and more. Endurance has plans for any budget. Repairs can be done by the certified mechanic of your choice. Plans cover 24/7 roadside assistance, towing, battery jumps, fuel deliveries, tire changes, and lockout services. Act now and get the benefits of our Elite Plan, a $2,000 value at no extra cost. With Endurance, you could never pay for covered auto repairs again. So call now for your free quote.
Call 800-386-6029. That's 800-386-6029. 800-386-6029.
My man JK owns up Vinny's in Oakmont. So JK has set up this insane Kentucky Derby party Saturday, May 3rd. Wow, this is cool. Doors open at 10 a.m. Vinny's. 70 televisions. Horse racing all day. Wow. Phones out, bets in. Wear your Derby best or just a hat like the rest. I love this place, folks. By the way, a prize for the best dressed and the best hat. Giveaways all day. The DJ starts at 1 p.m. Vinny's in Oakmont. Check it out.
People often ask us, what's the most important part of running a successful business? And our answer is family.
Hi, John, Maggie, and Justin Schmutzer here from Metropolitan Window Company, Pittsburgh's locally owned and family-operated window company for over 45 years.
When you choose Metropolitan Window Company, you're not just a customer. We treat you like family. We take the time to understand your needs and help you find the perfect windows for you and your home, like our exclusive Infinity from Marvin 100% fiberglass windows.
They're the strongest, longest-lasting, best insulating windows you can buy. They're way better than vinyl.
We're passionate about enhancing the beauty and efficiency of Pittsburgh homes using the top-of-the-line replacement windows. And right now, you can save 30% plus get no-interest financing on every window and door product we offer.
Join our family of satisfied customers.
Visit us on the web at metropolitanwindows.com.
Or give us a call at 412-655-8411. PA 1565.
Get Marty's brought to you by Perry Calder. When it matters most, contact Perry Calder Law.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
Oh, that's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos, and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Will new tariffs impact small businesses? Rising costs and economic uncertainty can hurt your bottom line. But with Swish Funding, your business can stay strong. We offer fast, flexible funding solutions from $10,000 to $2 million for working capital, cash flow, and more, and as little as 24 hours with no collateral needed. If your business earns at least $50,000 per month and has been around for over a year, you could qualify today. Go to swishradio.com and use code RADIO. Swishradio.com, code RADIO. The 50,000-watt voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
There's this, a drug we talked about on the show. Some people call it a zombie drug. What do the kids call it, Patrick? It's actually kind of frightening. We're going to
Trank. Trank is the most common street name.
Anyway, we've had folks send us pictures of folks downtown on this. And, man, it's bizarre. They're frozen. They literally look like zombies. And it's this new epidemic. And what it does is it creates these bizarre sores, open sores, and kids are using it. And it's so bad that they get them into these rehabs and they have to cut off their limbs. It's so addictive, all these drugs, the meth and the fentanyl and all the drugs that you see people using now. But this one in particular creates these crazy sores. And they're so addicted that they've been seen injecting needles into the sores, which is frightening in its own right. The bottom of the hour, we're going to talk to a doc. UPMC has come up with a treatment to try and help with some of this. We got to get into that. This is very, very, very a difficult scenario. And more young people are using it. And it's the new drug talk. It's the new hot drug. They find these ridiculous synthetic opioid products that they're using more and more, and it scares the hell out of you, if you want to think about it. Kids have died from this. It's not just people you don't seem to care about, which should be homeless people downtown, teenagers, young adults. I'm not discounting or blowing off homeless folks. They're human beings and they need our help. But it's a massive problem, and we're going to talk about it tomorrow. I'm sorry, at 1:30. Regarding Sheehan's reporting, he's my good friend. He's like a brother to me. He's done this forever. He does it better than anyone at a very high level. But what you've noticed about these political ads, and I have, is they have this tone to them that is this same tone that we saw in the national election, this hate speak, the hot button issues, racism, anti-Semitism, right? Honestly. Trump, MAGA. Right now, Patrick's running on the screen some of these ads. Corey's selling out to developers. MAGA money trying to buy O'Connor. MAGA operatives inside the campaigns. And then Corey fires back with, Gainey has the same people, took the same money. It's a hell of a mess. What happens is folks tune out and don't vote. They say, screw it. I'm not voting. I'm sick of all this crap. We'll find out. There is a concern if you are a supporter of Corey, and I've heard callers say this, how is what he is presenting as a progressive any different than what Ed Gainey is presenting as a progressive? That you will have to decide. I don't vote in the city. I don't live in the city. Here's what I know, whether it's Ed Gainey or Corey, because the Republican candidates don't have a chance. They just don't. I saw, what's his name, the former cop, Marino, raised a total of $3,000. Okay. That ain't buying lunch. It's just not possible for a Republican to gain any traction or any votes in this town. They just won't. They won't get 2% of the vote. They might not get 1% of the vote. So it's, the primary is for all intents and purposes the general election. And my boy John Delano, who has retired but he's still the guru, suggests that we might get 30% turnout. Now, for perspective, if you think John's full of crap, how many votes did Ed Gainey have when he won? How many? Now, again, Pittsburgh's about 300,000. There's a couple 100,000 plus registered voters. How many votes did Gainey win? How many votes did he have to win? Anyone? Anyone remember? Because I do. 27,000. My whole thing with you folks that whine and complain and don't vote is if you don't vote, don't whine. If you don't vote, don't moan. If you don't vote, don't groan. Accept the winner and move the hell on. I don't make predictions on these sorts of things. I also don't believe in the polling. I just don't. It's too random. It's too all over the map. Folks lie to pollsters now. They don't answer the phones. But historically, generally, what will happen is for Corey to win, moderates and older folks will have to turn out because that's just the truth. For Ed to win, African Americans and progressives will have to turn out. Historically, in off-year presidential elections, which is what this is, African Americans don't turn out. However, historically, progressives turn out regardless, which is why I say good for them. All right? All right.
Prescription products require completion of an online medication consultation with an independent healthcare provider through the LifeMD platform and are only available if prescribed. Subscription required. Individual results may vary. Additional restrictions apply at lifemd.com. Read all warnings before using GLP-1s. Side effects may include a risk of thyroid C-cell tumors. Do not use GLP-1s if you or your family have a history of thyroid cancer.
Should GLP-1 weight loss medication like Wegovy and Zepbound cost thousands of dollars? We don't think so. TryLifeMD.com helps provide insurance access to the leading GLP-1 medications. Visit TryLifeMD.com and check your eligibility for GLP-1 medication with copays as low as $0. Listen to Bridget's story after losing 55 pounds and using her insurance for coverage.
LifeMD helped me get covered with my insurance. Finding out that it was covered was huge. I've lost 55 pounds. I am so much healthier now that I've lost the weight. I would never be able to do it without them.
Get started today and check your eligibility for GLP-1 medication with copays as low as $0 at TryLifeMD.com. That's TryLifeMD.com.
My boy's back. Jim Toten, Toten's Diner. Great breakfast, great lunch, big portions, great pricing, great staff. Jim and Joanne are running an amazing joint. Check it out. Toten's Diner, Route 19, Perry Highway.
Are you thunderstruck? Get ready to ride the highway to hell right into the AC/DC pre-concert party at Voodoo Brewing, Pittsburgh, May 8th. We're turning it up with hell-raising food and drink specials, a live broadcast with Colin Dunlap from 2 to 6 p.m., and electrifying extras like a tattoo artist, an ice cream vendor, and more. So whether you're a problem child or just back in black, Voodoo is where the pre-show party rocks. Just steps from the stadium, May 8th. Only at Voodoo North Shore. For those about to rock, we salute you. Spring is here, and it's time for a new adventure. C. Harper Cadillac has the vehicle you need to fuel your fun this season. Stop by their dealership in Belle Vernon or view their inventory at charpercadillac.com. C. Harper Cadillac, the best price every time, all the time.
From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studio.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Partly sunny and 63 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 1:30. I'm Paul Alexander. Anti-Semitic incident data breaks all previous annual records in 2024, according to the Anti-Defamation League. News Radio KDK's Tamira Rush has more.
The ADL recorded more than 9,300 anti-Semitic incidents across the country last year. Rachel Sass with the ADL Center on Extremism says, as far as where they're seeing it,
while college campuses used to be relatively marginal in terms of a location of where anti-Semitism occurs, it's now become one of the major epicenters of where we see anti-Semitic activity.
The state with the highest levels of anti-Semitic incidents is New York with over 1,400. Pennsylvania is ranked 4th with over 400. Tamira Rush, News Radio, KDKA.
Merger talks are underway between two Allegheny County police departments. Etna Borough and Reserve Township recently started consideration of combining their police forces to cut costs and improve officer recruitment and retention. The communities have sent a request for assistance to a state agency. If it's approved, the feasibility study will begin. Odyssey stations nationwide, including KDKA News Radio, are out making Earth Day by engaging in efforts to help the planet. News Radio KDK's David Ballarado was there.
Locally, that includes Odyssey volunteers cleaning up parts of Manchester, along with the Manchester Citizens Corporation. Resident Glenn Falk is excited to see the volunteers.
It's nice to have the extra participation and the help we can get within the community and outside the community, and I hope it grows.
Volunteers are doing things like cleaning up garbage and helping with the flower display that greets you as you enter the community. In Manchester, David Ballarado, News Radio, KDKA.
Too few predators and plentiful food equal increasing deer populations. As a result, Rouse Township commissioners voted last night to start a call with sharpshooters in select areas during overnight hours.
These are very seasoned hunters. They know what they're doing. They know the rules. They know the regulations.
Rouse Commission President Dan DeMarco said he hopes the call program will start next year.
We're hoping through their expertise, they're going to be able to put a bigger dent in the population.
Intentional feeding of deer was banned in Ross in 2018, and archery hunts started in 2020, but the number of deer in the township continue to grow. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 613 points, the Nasdaq up 315. The S&P 500 is up 86 points. KDK Radio News Time is 1:32. Our next update at 2 o'clock. I'm Paul Alexander, in the voice of Pittsburgh News Radio, KDKA.
Hey everyone, Bob Pompiani here. Let me tell you about the great work that Pittsburgh Garage does. I needed a new garage makeover. The floor was covered with salt and cracks, living there for 37 years, so I called Pittsburgh Garage. Boy, in just a couple of days, the transformation was amazing. The floor coating beautiful, easy to maintain. Cabinets are on their way to make everything organized. I work with Elijah and Josh, both very professional. All of their team members are full-time. Go to PittsburghGarage.com and you'll find over 400 five-star reviews. They've got long-lasting products designed to be functional, heavy-duty, and look great. For your free estimate, go to PittsburghGarage.com.
Man, Oakmont Bakery bringing it for the Easter season. Wow. Moist white almond cakes filled with custard, frosted with buttercream. Delicious. Toasted almonds. 4-layer chocolate torts. Delicious. Oakmont's Bakery cases filled with breads, cookies, rolls, and pastries and pies until 5 p.m. Saturday, April 19th. All Easter orders must be placed by Tuesday, April 15th. Rich cheesecakes topped with fresh strawberries and whipped cream. Delicious.
Shenyun is coming to the Benedum Center, April 26th and 27th. Shenyun revives China's divinely inspired traditional culture, lost in communist China today. Discover what China's 1.4 billion people can't see and why Shenyun can't perform there. See Shenyun at least once in your lifetime. The Benedum Center, April 26th and 27th. Tickets at shenyun.com. That's SHENYUN.com.
Hey folks, Marty here. My man Carlos from Greater Pitt Tree Service. Unbelievable, 32 years experience. A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. Senior discounts, military discounts, specializing in large and confined area removals. Training to work near power lines. Amazing. 412-884-TREE. 412-884-TREE. It's the absolute best tree service ever. Greater Pitt Tree Service.
Spring is here, and it's the perfect time to drive into adventure with a new Subaru from Bowser Subaru. The 2025 Subaru Forester and its symmetrical all-wheel drive provides the confidence to explore wherever the season takes you, from muddy trails to long stretches of highway. And with 3.9% APR for 48 months, you don't want to miss it. Don't wait. Visit Bowser Subaru today and take advantage of this limited time offer with credit approval and financing through SMFL. See Bowser Subaru for complete details. Offer ends April 30th. Take a test drive at Bowser Subaru in Pleasant Hills. BowserSubaru.com. Bowser Subaru, Route 51 South, on top of the hill.
Honey, I found the perfect place for my parents and us.
Where?
St. Barnabas. For us, the Woodlands Carriage Home Community. And for my parents, condominium-style living at the Village. My folks will love the Village. There's an indoor mall with shops, restaurants, and more. And we can relax, knowing they're safe and secure.
That's what I plan to do when we move to St. Barnabas. Relax.
Call 724-444-5568 or visit stbarnabascommunities.com.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the mountains or go pick up your dry cleaning? RV wins! Are we cleaning the gutters or taking the RV camping? RV wins! Are we getting a new passport or cruising up the coast? RV wins!
Don't forget, you got that trip to Sweden coming up.
Oh, yeah, passport, then RV.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states and situations.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-334-2266. That's 800-334-2266. 800-334-2266.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
For the rest of today, intervals of clouds and sun. It'll be breezy at times with a high of 69, partly cloudy tonight though 47. Partly to mostly sunny tomorrow and becoming warmer in the afternoon, high 77. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
Hi, this is Larry Richard. Join us on the Big K Morning Show tomorrow, 5:30 until 10. Rich Fitzgerald in our 7 o'clock hour with what's going on around the region. More big things coming our way. Plus, we have Pirates tickets to give away, too.
So, I have friends that are out there on the streets that are cops and that are advocates and that have a lot of engagement with folks that are addicted to drugs. The massive, massive epidemic we saw with fentanyl and then all the deaths, it hit Pittsburgh really hard. And then about a year ago, I started getting pictures from some of my boys who work downtown of homeless folks. And I'm not disrespecting homeless folks. They're mentally ill. They have drug addiction. They need help. Who are in this what you would describe as a zombie state. So then I did some drilling down on it, and I was told by an addiction specialist that this started out in Philly, quite frankly. It's a tranquilizer for animals, and in fact, for elephants. And they take this xylazine, as it's called, along with fentanyl, I'm told not to get themselves higher, but to extend their high. It's as crazy as this sounds. And then I started getting pictures of them in treatment sent to me, not of their wounds. This friggin' combo creates this horrifying open sores. And it's so addictive, the fentanyl and the xylazine and all this craziness, that they'll inject drugs into the open wounds. And it gets so bad that they have to amputate some of these limbs. It's that bad. And I tell you what, I got this news release in my email about a week ago from the folks at UPMC, and actually had to say it offered me some hope, because they're one of the first, UPMC is one of the first healthcare systems in America to try this treatment program. They have standard protocols for treating patients with xylazine wounds. And I got to be honest, it's the first kind of glimmer of hope that I had for anyone who's kind of fighting this horrifying addiction. And these doctors that are out there on the front lines just trying to do the right thing. And it's gratifying to know that they give a damn enough to try and stem this tide, because I tell you right now, it's hell. And by the way, these are teenagers, some of them. These aren't just what you consider to be bums, your words, not mine, or homeless folks. These are folks facing an American crisis, this combination of deadly drugs, and now this one that is even more frightening. Dr. Jawa, good morning. How are you, doctor?
Good morning. I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Wow. Please.
No, I'm
wow.
grateful for the opportunity to share some of the efforts that we've done at UPMC to try to streamline how we provide medical care for patients who are exposed to the unregulated drug supply here in the United States.
Hey, Doc, have you seen, because I have, unfortunately, some of these open wounds that this xylazine creates. It's disturbing, is it not, Doctor?
You know, I think it's really scary for not only providers, but also my patients to get harms from the rapidly changing drug supply. Yeah. Many of my patients don't know what they're consuming. They think that they're purchasing heroin or fentanyl, but really what we've seen in the nation is the drug supply has become very unpredictable and really adulterated. And so oftentimes the first time they find out that something is wrong with the drug supply or that there's something mixed in with their drugs that they're consuming is when they develop a wound or a new clinical symptom. So it's scary really for my patients.
Hey, Doc, did you ever in your life imagine you'd be talking about an elephant tranquilizer used in this way? Honestly, it's sickening. It's so tragic. Go ahead.
It is. It is tragic that our drug supply is is changing so quickly as it is.
It's true.
But it's really important for us in healthcare to make sure that we're well prepared so that when patients come to get care from us, that we know what's in the supply.
Nice.
And we're able to give them the right medications and treatment protocols so that we can help them feel better.
Dr. Regina Jawa at UPMC. Hey, Doc, where do they come? Where do they come at UPMC, folks with this kind of addiction who you're now treating for this xylazine? Where exactly do they come?
That's a great question. I think individuals who are exposed to the changing drug supply, particularly with xylazine, we at UPMC have many addiction centers. And so they can access some of our outpatient addiction centers, and we'd be happy to sort of see them. And so you can go online and check whatever's the local closest clinic that has addiction specialists present, and they can get the care that they need.
Dr. Jawa, what are you seeing in terms of the efficacy of some of your treatments, and how is it working on patients that are on these random drugs, the xylazine included?
I think it's really early to say. We really need to collect more data because right now the goal was to try to streamline how we treat patients, but it's something that we're going to have to see with time. That are these medications helping our patients? Are the way that we're treating wounds actually helping heal patients more quickly and get them onto the appropriate addiction treatments if they are interested in starting?
Wow, you've seen a 5-fold increase in these patients? 5-fold, Doc.
So we unfortunately in this country don't have great surveillance of the drug supply. But based off of some of the limited preliminary data that we have from UPMC, we've certainly detected more xylazine among patients who are seeking care. But I can tell you, just in a matter of several years, since 2022, the Pittsburgh and Western Pennsylvania has seen more adulterated opiates with xylazine present. So certainly more and more individuals are at risk of developing xylazine-associated harms, like the wounds that you were talking about, or sedation like you were talking about.
Hey, I have read some encouraging news that the number of addictions, overdose deaths is down to great. A lot of folks are happy about that because of the Narcan. Is that accurate? Is that fair, Doctor?
Certainly, we have seen that based off of surveillance of overdoses across the nation, that fatal overdoses have been reducing in the last year. But it's really important for us to, now that naloxone is FDA approved for being over the counter, it's everybody's responsibility to know what the medication is and how to administer it in the case of an overdose, because even one death is one too many.
So true. And it could be someone you love tomorrow. No exaggeration, right?
Correct.
Hey, doctor.
There's some data that suggests 1 in 3 Americans know somebody who's been affected by the opioid crisis. So it's really all of our responsibility to know what's happening with the drug supply and how we can not only reverse an overdose, but also get the appropriate addiction care.
One of my boys that's out there on the streets working with some of these folks sent me this text. I don't know if you have the answer, but you probably do. Vivitrol. Is that effective? Is it helpful? Vivitrol, doctor.
There's several evidence-based medications that we can give to patients who have a substance use disorder, particularly with opioids. Vivitrol is one of the medications we can use for patients, and that's an opioid blocker. But we also have other evidence-based medications, namely buprenorphine or methadone.
Doctor,
so we have many.
You did say that these drugs end up in the drug supply, including xylazine, but I've talked to undercover cops who say some addicts seek it out because they believe it extends their addiction. And it underlines, does it not, doctor, the desperation of this addiction? Does it not, doctor?
It's a great question. And unfortunately, what I can tell you is when we've done research with people who are using substances, majority of them are not seeking out xylazine adulterated opioids, especially, in parts of Massachusetts. We did a study where most folks were actually trying to get drugs without xylazine. And so it really speaks to the fact that our patients don't have a safe supply, and they are really at risk of all these harms because we don't have community-based drug checking. They don't have a way to test their drugs at the time that they can consume it. Although now we have things like xylazine test strips and fentanyl test strips that people can actually test their drugs before they consume it. But those are imperfect harm reduction strategies.
Dr. Jawa, you're amazing. I love your compassion, and I love the fact that you give a damn because it's so important, and so many people are affected. I could name 100 people I've run into in my career that are dead from these drugs, and I mean it, and I've seen it firsthand, and it's horrifying. Thank you very much for caring, Doctor. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much. Take care.
It's important stuff, folks.
Did you know that now you can listen to all your favorite stations, including this one, shows, and even podcasts, all on the Odyssey app? Download it now.
Hey, folks, it's Marty. Medicare can be confusing with all the rules, costs, and deadlines. Are you making the right choice for your future? Join MediConnect's free live webinars from the comfort of your home. No pressure, just clear, helpful information. Learn about Medicare, Parts A and B, how to avoid penalties, and if Medicare Advantage or Supplement is right for you. Get peace of mind. Register for the webinar by calling 888-818-6334. MediConnectInsurance.com. MediConnect. Medicare made simple.
You know how you always want to know about everyone else's money? On the podcast What We Spend, guests will, for 1 week, tell us everything they spend their money on.
My son slammed $6 worth of blueberries in 5 minutes.
And everything that makes them feel.
I want to own a house. I want to have a child. But this morning, I really wanted a coffee.
Because at the end of the day, money is always about more than your balance. Listen to and follow What We Spend, an Odyssey original podcast. Available now wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, folks, it's Marty. Springtime, time to upgrade your windows. And I've got the plan for you. The best window company going, Universal Windows Direct. Right now, no interest until 2030. And a $500 bonus off your entire home improvement project. There's never been a better time. Check this out. Universal Windows Direct. 412-545-6003. 412-545-6003. Universal Windows Direct.
Leading with support and a proven commitment to public safety. Represent how Sheriff Kevin Krause effectively serves Allegheny County. Paul Martino here supporting the re-election of Allegheny County Sheriff Kevin Krause. Kevin's respect and trust from the labor community and unanimous endorsements by city, county and state, public safety, and first responders are key reasons to re-elect him as sheriff.
I'm Sheriff Kevin Krause. I'd be honored to earn your vote on May 20th.
Paid for by friends of Kevin Krause for sheriff.
Shenyun is coming to the Benedum Center, April 26th and 27th. Shenyun revives China's divinely inspired traditional culture, lost in communist China today. Discover what China's 1.4 billion people can't see and why Shenyun can't perform there. See Shenyun at least once in your lifetime. The Benedum Center, April 26th and 27th. Tickets at shenyun.com. That's SHENYUN.com.
And now for a business news update from the Pittsburgh Business Times. I'm managing editor Mike Larson. A plan for Duquesne University's next new building is in the early stages of seeking city approvals. In a development activities meeting of 5 community organizations yesterday evening, a development team for the university detailed plans to make a minor revision in its institutional master plan for its urban campus uptown. The revision calls for changing the university's master plan to allow for a new building to replace what is now a surface parking lot across McGee Street from the UPMC Cooper Fieldhouse on Forbes Avenue. Also, local startup Hebrew Robotics recently inked a contract with NASA's Ames Research Center to collaborate on the development of autonomous systems for space. The partnership's goals are described as the next step forward from Silicon Valley-based Ames Armadas project, where the center researched how autonomous robots could possibly assemble structures in space. Now the startup will work with the research center to advance autonomous systems and digital framework that will be utilized to construct and maintain adaptable structures in space, including modular habitats, satellites, and telescopes, according to a release. For more on these stories and other local business news, log on to PittsburghBusinessTimes.com. I'm Mike Larson.
Pittsburgh's 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Well, that story is unsettling. And I know a lot of you folks don't care because you don't have someone in your family addicted, but I've seen it, man. I've done about 20 interventions and put people in mental hospitals and rehab centers, and man, I've had friends that are on the streets working this send me pictures of a couple in Market Square. And folks, it's a video, and you'd think they're frozen in time. It's hard to see, man. It's just, I have incredible empathy and sympathy for folks who are addicted to anything, alcohol or drugs. It's a hellhole, man. And this xylazine is bizarre to me, that somehow in America we end up thinking that an elephant tranquilizer is a reasonable alternative. My God. Now, she contradicts, and she's wonderful and has insane background and goes out of her way to help young people. My man, Tom Brophy, who is an addiction specialist and has treated these folks a lot, has met addicts that seek out this xylazine. Now, she says they haven't seen that, but Brophy has actually had them in rehab where he catches them literally injecting the xylazine into their open wounds, and then they have to amputate. They've had to amputate toes and arms. But to imagine that we have drug dealers in the world that are willing to take folks an elephant tranquilizer to mix in with fentanyl to make money. It's that dark. And as she said too, and Tom Brophy has also said that on this show, we have seen a drop in the number of overdose deaths. They don't know if that's because fewer people are using fentanyl. They kind of theoretically think maybe. They don't know if it's because of Narcan. They just don't. But overdose deaths are down, and they were on this insane rocket to hell during COVID. Over 120,000 dead 1 year just from fentanyl overdoses, and that number is down below 100,000. And so there is progress in that area. What she said that it's profoundly important is these amazing doctors like she is, they're trying to save people's legs and arms, and because these wounds are wide open and they do not heal, they're hard to heal. And right now, because this is so new, they're trying to figure it out. And they're trying various treatments at UPMC, and I commend the hell out of them for doing that. She also said that there are significant places for you to get help for your loved ones at a number of UPMC facilities. I would start there with calls to 911, and then let the EMTs and police start with that, but it's a hell of a problem. And until you've met someone that lost a son or a daughter that were wonderful kids and wonderful people from fentanyl overdoses, you don't think you care, and then you find someone you love is dead from it, and you care. I have some good friends that have lost sons and daughters to this nastiness of fentanyl. And the xylazine stuff to us is relatively new. Honestly, we just reached out to Tom Brophy about it in the last year because it just started showing up on streets in Pittsburgh. What's weird is how it kind of had its birthplace in this country in Philadelphia. And I have a bunch of notes from him regarding treatment and what they're seeing. I've heard it showing up in the Philly drug supply. Huh. This is what Tom Brophy sent me recently. And then it ends up in Pittsburgh from there. Unfortunately, there are people that care. Fortunately, there are folks that are out there trying to help, but it ain't easy. And when you have a wound that won't heal, drug addicts don't care. They just want to get high again. They just want to maintain whatever they have going, and they can't live without it. So I commend anyone out there trying to make a difference with folks who are dying daily from these deadly, deadly drugs. To imagine that we'd be in a space and time in America where they would be using an elephant tranquilizer on people is beyond me, but they do, and they are, and it's horrifying. Colin's next.
It's the little things. The information you need. People you know. The little things that make a big difference. The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
Man, my friends at NASCO Roofing take pride on exceeding thousands of customers' expectations with superior roofing materials. They're the best. They're the best. Dee from Pittsburgh loves her NASCO roof. She was so happy that NASCO didn't try to pressure her into buying and care. NASCO took in cleaning up the job site, and the pressure was not there. NASCO has satisfied thousands of folks like Dee. Get NASCO on your roof. 412-373-2000, 412-373-2000. NASCO, N-A-S-C-O.
If you are new to Medicare and have questions, Aetna can help. Aetna has a Medicare Advantage plan that includes prescription drug coverage with a $0 monthly plan premium. Plus, the plan includes benefits like dental, vision, and hearing.